Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. A little bit later today. I was a little bit caught up with the fact that we didn't actually have the GSL replays. But it looks like they just added them in the last hour or so to the folder. So they put the folder up, but they forgot to add the replays in. So there was a little bit of an issue there in terms of what we were originally planning. We were obviously trying to go live a little bit sooner than this. On the floor. Yeah, we're trying to go live a little bit sooner, just doesn't quite work out. So yeah, a little bit weird, but not really a big deal or anything. Decided we are still going to go live today and cast these because it's kind of in my schedule, and if I don't do it today, then I don't know when I'm going to do it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at least. So yeah, hopefully sounds like fun to you guys. Do some GSL qualifier casting, not qualifier, actual Code S casting. Group A. So obviously GSL's been on today as well, guys. This is going to be games from yesterday's group. So this is going to be from Group A yesterday, just to keep you all aware and on the same page. It's roasting, yeah. So that's what's going to be plan. So yeah, TLDR, we're going to cast some GSL games. Looking forward to it. We're going to see how it goes. Probably going to cast them. I mean, there's only like 5 days of GSL in a season, so we're probably just going to cast all 5 days as just a way for us to have some stuff to cast in a couple of days here and there. So, obviously, this is live on the Soup website, so the old Africa website, now named Soup. They do it live there if you want to watch it live, and I believe they are putting YouTube VODs up, so there are YouTube VODs as well, just if you want to watch the official broadcast. Obviously, we're going to do our best and do a little bit of casting ourselves and see what happens, see what we get up to, and all of that goodness. So I think that is our plan. I think that's what we're going to go for. If that sounds good, let's get into games, and let's just get started. So, it's typical GSL format and everything as well. And let's get this underway, as we're going to start off in the top left-hand corner with our red Protoss player. This is going to be SOS, and wow, I mean, what a player to start off introducing in this season of GSL. Because SOS kind of has not been around. He has not played in anything since like last year's GSL qualifiers or something. And he just showed up. He kind of tweeted just before GSL, hey, I'm looking for a team, and no one really listened. And then he qualified for GSL, and everyone's like, what? SOS is back? Well, he's definitely back enough to get himself into the round of 12, which, you know, is good going because there's a lot of great players that did not make round of 12. Shin, for example, is someone I think which, you know, a lot of people would say was kind of probably a shoo-in for GSL, didn't make it into round of 12. Bunny. You know, there's a lot of great players that missed out. Zaun. And yet here, SOS is coming out of the woodwork and showing up to play some StarCraft 2. So he's going to be the red Protoss player representing in the top left-hand corner of the map. As he takes on in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran player. We have ourselves Cure as we kick off this best of 3. Obviously, GSL groups. I mean, we call it GSL format all the time, even when it's not GSL, but 2 players will advance from this 4-player group. It's essentially a double elimination bracket where top 2 just survive. They can also be seen as a group with 5 matches. Obviously, you play a winner's match, a loser's match, and a decider match. And then the 2 winners obviously advance on through. The 2 losers are knocked out here in the round of 12. And that is the plan around. That's what's going on. As we have some initial probe harass coming through, and the SCVs trying to play that off. Cure, obviously, our Terran player is, well, a well-rounded player in GSL. We've seen him many a time, and he's actually been great online lately. He's actually been a pretty terrifying player once more. It's been pretty fun to watch him play and seeing him actually have quite a bit of success in a lot of the games he's playing. So, kind of excited here to see what Q and SOS together are going to bring out and what they are going to be getting up to. As we have ourselves an assimilator coming down, the Factor coming up, Reaper on the way. And nothing really too crazy in the super early moments here. Pretty standard stuff for the early stages. So yeah, everything looking pretty normal for the first little couple of minutes. This Reaper's going to start coming out and around on the map and see if we can get up to much. Anything along those lines. Obviously try and get some scouting, especially against someone like SOS, who's a pretty darn cheeky player. You know, he will do some crazier things. He will do some builds which are a little bit out there, which are a little bit kind of crazier. So you do not want to leave yourself open to a player like SOS. You do not want to leave your kind of defenses down. You want to be as ready as possible in that regard. So yeah, we'll see what we get. As I mean, right now SOS adding on a couple of gateways could potentially get some aggression going from there. We're going to get a little spot of the Healing Shrine here as well. So the Healing Shrine, obviously, a feature that's for the first time ever on these ladder maps. We've never seen a Healing Shrine make it to the ladder before, but Persephone has turned out to be a pretty good map. It gets picked a fair amount in the map pool, and it got picked a fair amount when we introduced it into the last map pool when we were doing some testing with WardiTV stuff, so yeah, very exciting as the pylon does come down out to the bottom side. Just going to see the Adept and the Warp Gate continue to build up here, so we bring all of that through too. Add on a couple of gateways, add on some probes, and we're going to be well underway. As I do feel like, obviously, with all these gateways first, you do want to put some pressure on as SOS, because you're obviously investing into a lot of production and units right now, rather than the future. And that future would be, obviously, like, you know, tech structures, or Twilight Council, or Stargate, or something that's going to tell us what we're going to do for the rest of the game. Instead, we see SOS building, like I say, just directly into the, yeah, just kind of building directly into the Stalkers and the units in the 3 gateways, so going to apply a lot of pressure. I completely lost my line of thinking somehow. Halfway through a sentence and it just slipped straight out my mind. Anyway, a Cyclone and a couple of Marines will start to come on up, so we get those ready. The Reaper will check up here as well. Just going to come for a little bit of a look in, a check to see what's going on. And the few Stalkers are actually going to show up, so the Reaper on the wrong side of the map, and 3 SCVs going down already. We're going to see the Stalkers getting walked in defensively as the drop queue has arrived on the other side, so we have to get a bit of defense going for SOS, who is going to continue at the front, though. He's killed 7 SCVs to the 3 workers lost of his own so far. And that is obviously a pretty cool little place to be as the Cyclone comes through, locks in. I mean, this is the problem, is that this medevac has not been dealt with properly, so it still has potential, it still has life left in it, where it's going to come back through and get more and more done again and again as the Cyclone coming about there. It's going to be seeing a couple of Stalkers and the Adept actually going to be able to get rid of the Cyclone, which is a huge removal on the defense. If the next warp-in is aggressive, which it should be, then we're going to have a few more Stalkers here, and they have some potential, but a tank popping out, a Banshee as well. The Banshee might even turn across to the other side of the map right now, so yeah, I think that's going to be maybe the case. I think it actually turned around, though, so maybe it's not going to go across the other side as initially expected here. So yeah, a couple of moments on that one as we settle on down. It'll take a few moments. Banshee's still just going to be coming around for a few moments, just going to be having that cloak on the way, so we will get some work moving. And Banshee and the tank coming about, the Raven coming through. I've got the charge coming up as well, so that's why SOS is going to take this to the next stage of this as we begin to progress on through. I see a lot of people commenting that we've not really seen SOS in a while. Yeah, guys, I mean, this was as much a surprise to like the people who hardcore follow StarCraft as to anybody else as well. Like, SOS coming through and being, like, around in 2025. Like, he just hasn't played in over a year, and then he qualified into GSL. It's a pretty ridiculous result. Like, it's a pretty ridiculous happening. Yeah, actually crazy to just have literally, like, no games. I think he played in, like, one online tournament or something, and he lost, and then he played GSL qualifiers and qualified. So, yeah, some crazy stuff. And it's always so fun to see SOS. I mean, SOS brings back a lot of nostalgia and memories for a lot of people. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what today brings as that Raven knocks down the Observers. Just going to take that out straight away. X is coming down, and we get ourselves the extra gates coming up. And again, that charge in the Temple Archive is going to be the next step. I mean, overall, early losses. Both players took a bit of a beating on the work accounts. Resource loss is a little bit favorable to Cure. It did start very well for SOS. It was just the continuous harassment of that medevac, and so that we're able to stick around that little bit longer, that really did begin to make the real difference as kind of we continued on through. That really is where things went a little bit tits up for SOS after such a fantastic starting point for sure. Now the Prism is moving back around as well, and we do have ourselves the 2 Banshees are still out on the map. So again, talking about just potential of things that could happen here, and that is definitely one of those things, which is just the Banshees can still deal damage. I like what Cure has potential to do, as we see the Storm coming up here from SOS as well, so he is going to get a little bit of Storm in production. Going to see that Observer coming out as well, so just bring all of that into play. Prism continuing out down to the bottom. for the moment, as against Impact, Combat Shield, and +1 building through. Marine Marauder Viking on the way up. It's going to get the couple of Vikings going to come around that left-hand side. The CC here settling down as well. Storm about to finish. Is Reynor still choosing random at times? I don't think Reynor has ever chose random in a big event. He sometimes race picked to play Protoss against Zerg instead of playing ZBZ. He's never picked random. The Prism drop with the Storm, it does okay. Not quite what you're looking for. I imagine we wanted a little bit more value out of that as the Viking shots come through, and they are going to be able to get rid of that Prism, so that Prism will go down. So we knocked that straight out of the way here. The couple of Banshees are going to set up at the front, the third CC coming into play as well. Concussor Shells and the +1 armor upgrade continue to produce on through. And again, that Robobay and Prism and all the rest continue to come into play. So a few probes coming about, the cannon on the way through, +1 attack and blink coming up at the same time. Fire will just get across there and hit the pylon for a few moments as the blink continues into play as well. So again, just a little bit of everything coming through right now. Robobay Nexus on the way up as well, add on a cannon, and that is where we will take things. Well, game definitely sells considering the start of the game was so hectic. Kira pushing up the left side. Has the Raven, has the couple of Banshees. We see one High Templar trying to lead the charge. If he could get the feedback on the Raven, that would be great. But we actually dropped the auto turrets down pretty quickly. SOS just attacked straight on in, drops a Storm into the center of everything there, which was pretty well dodged in fairness from Kira, who is now going to be able to take the siege onto the left-hand side here and is going to be able to start pushing his way through this cybernetics core, that gateway. All of these are things we're going to be able to start grabbing for ourselves here. So just going to start making a little bit of a takedown. And Bioforce is going to get back onto this gate. That will fall. Pylon going down as well. Again, Blink and the armor upgrade both continuing through as we just have, again, a couple of medevacs on the way currently. Just going to have the Bioforce all gathering together. We got that extended thermal lance coming up too, so a little bit of a continuation of what we're heading into right now. Just that thermal lance, that range for the Colossus. SOS with a lot of setting up, but has to obviously take a bit of an out-of-position base right now. Due to the fact that this game is definitely kind of heavily pressured from that left-hand side. And obviously Q has a continuous reinforcement wave up the left side just because of how his own bases are laid out. So SOS getting drawn pretty thinly, and I do think that's something that Q in the future could take advantage of. Some drops and so to that top right-hand corner is the exact kind of thing you can do a lot with very easily here. So that should be a definite possibility as our bio units gather back around. Extended thermal lance, +1 armor coming through. The gates and the Colossus all coming up as well. And an EMP going down on a couple of those zealots. We'll have to save the ghost with the medevac, but it does mean we've got units nearby that should be able to handle these zealots. Q has brought most of his army back home anyway, so this really shouldn't be too much of a problem in the slightest. Those zealots are going to continue through in 7, 8 SCVs going down immediately. The couple ghosts still there, ready to turn around and fight. Again, the extended thermal lance and the armor upgrade continue to come through for the moment. A couple more of the ghosts and the marine and so on just gathering as well. Vikings continue. The sense tower coming up. Command center on the way in as well. It's about halfway done currently. The armor upgrade is about to finish up here, so we'll get that finished. Ship weapons and the +2 attack continuing to build for the moment as this bio army of Kua heads straight over to that right hand side. Yeah, pylon getting grabbed. I mean, this is where Q, he's actually just swinging up the right side, but now he could reinforce like a drop up the left side if he wanted to kind of go for that kind of split push attack I'm talking about. Right now, just running in and up over here. He had the acceleration zone to help him get in position in, plenty of time as well. And SOS just does not respond in time. He was unaware of where Q was moving to, so SOS had to attack through a choke point with his Nexus to have a chance at being able to fight through this, and that's obviously not ideal. A couple of storms continue to land on down. The Colossus in the back is getting hit by a couple of Vikings only, but if they never die, then it will eventually kill the Colossus. I mean, the Stalkers do start to get rid of the Vikings. One Colossus remains that just came across as a reinforcement wave. You can see the supplies are telling us that Kua has come into this series and said, SOS, buddy, I think you've got the wrong year. It's 2025, not 2015. And yeah, this is very much so my kind of time in comparison to yours. Like I say, it's wild to see SOS in this tournament. He had a genuinely good start to the game, but he has been out positioned by Kua here over the last few moments, and as that last Colossus runs away on a dredge of life, it will get chased down. New Colossus showing up, but you're never going to sustain just reinforcing with one Colossus at a time. that is not something which is going to end up going your way. So GG's, and Q is going to take the opening game here today in this GSL Code S Group A. Again, it's a little bit weird. So the GSL has 2 group stages, the round of 12 and then into the round of 8. Each of these group stages have just 2 groups in them. So this week is the round of 12, and this is the first group of the round of 12. So just, again, try and keep you guys aware of that, as we'll be jumping into our second map, which will be Tokamak in just a couple of moments. And I actually think we are good on ads, so we can just... yeah, moving in... yeah, we should be able to just move in towards game number 2. Perfecto. Let's get that lined up then. I'm like pausing because I'm like, wait a second, what do I do? I'm not used to just like covering replays and not having to do anything myself, just pressing the button to watch. I'm just like, I was like, do I have to invite other people in here? I was like, Alright guys, let's get this one underway, as we are going to start off in the bottom left-hand side with the red Protoss. This is going to be SOS. He's down a game. Let's hope he can fight it back a little bit and bring this series to a game 3. I mean, that would be amazing in itself. If SOS wins maps today, I would be genuinely very impressed. So, excited to see if that is a possibility. I think Q might just be a bit too good for him. The blue Terran in the top right has genuinely been just very good online lately. That consistency online typically does turn out to be, you know, a proven thing in the bigger tournaments as well. So yeah, really expecting this to be one of those scenarios where, in my eyes, we've got ourselves a little bit of a, I want to say a mismatch, but I feel like that's a little disrespectful to an SOS, especially when he shows up in this game 1 and, yeah, actually has some potential early on. And to be fair, maybe if Q does take damage like that early and doesn't find his own counter damage, maybe that's enough for SOS to be competitive in this match to a point where he actually maybe can make something else happen. So, things we could maybe look at as we get into this game number 2, the best of 3. Woody, have you seen many Beyond All Reason matches? Nope, I've got no idea what that even is. Just to answer the question in the YouTube chat straight away, I've got absolutely no idea what that even is, so I've got no clue. I'm fully focused 100% on StarCraft 2 at the moment. I genuinely believe StarCraft 2 is still in a great place and is still playing great games, but we need as much community love as possible on it, so I've been full focusing just trying to produce StarCraft 2 content and tournaments, make sure the players have as many tournaments as possible to play in and stuff to help them fill the gaps in between the bigger tournaments like the GSLs, which are back, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I've been pretty hard committed to GSL. I've not really been, to StarCraft 2, I've not really been committed to, or keeping up on track of other events or other games and stuff. Apart from stuff I play in my free time, but that's also pretty limited, to be fair. Command Center Factory both coming online here. Nexus and the Assimilator coming up as well, so we get a little bit of investment being made for the moment. The Warp Gate coming through, and yeah, Nexus, Adept, Warp Gate all coming about. Facility in the Nexus will come into play, so we get that started. Just going to be having a setup continuing here as the Warp Gate comes through. Again, CC coming up. A couple of Hellions coming about. Robo still in the gateway coming online as well. The Adept still coming through for the moment. Now Warp Gate in production. Just get ourselves into this for next couple of moments. Yeah, setting up for a little bit. Get underway. Tell me guys, won't stream Yama next week. Well, I'm gonna take the day off on Wednesday. Actually, it's very rare I actually do that for like a specifically a RuneScape update, I guess. But I wasn't really planning on streaming it because I don't think anyone actually cares to watch me play RuneScape, to be honest. But yeah. Well. That proxy from SOS is heating up. Hey, this is what we love SOS for, right? The full-on proxy play. Robo and the gateway into the upper left-hand side. So, yeah, we're going to get that straight into play. And, I mean, firing through. I mean, this is, like I say, what you kind of grow to love in SOS. So, If you watched SOS for a long time, there's probably the kind of build you wanted him to come out with today. Come out, throw in like a little bit of a proxy, throw some aggression out there. The kind of stuff that SOS does very well a lot of the time. As the factory is going to swap on over as well. It's just going to go moving through for a few moments. Pylon drops down. A similar Cyclone and a couple of Marines will continue up as well. So we continue in with this as the Depot will already be taking some damage. It's going to go down in a few moments, so Depot will fall. And, well, Kira's setup against this is obviously not really sure what's going on. SCV is going down. I mean, there's a little bit of counter pressure on the other side, but I think there's a real issue of just what actually kills this attack of SOS, right? Like in the last game, the Cyclone and the Medevac were able to stick around for a long time. What kills two Immortals right here? The Banshee, I guess, is actually a very good answer. So credit to Kira. He's coming up with an answer I didn't necessarily have myself. And for SOS, this is all about prioritizing or capitalizing on the next few moments and just getting as much done as possible in these next few moments and just try and stay in as good a position as we can. 10 SCVs. I mean, 5 probes lost. Obviously, that Widowmine drop on the other side has been pretty darn effective so far as well. So that's not great to see if you're cheering on SOS here, because that means that any damage he's done is kind of being not really matched on the other side, but it's being whittled away at because of what's being done on the other side with that Medevac. Now, that Medevac and Widowmine drop is gone now. Tank shot is good. Stalker goes down immediately. The Prism and a couple of Zealots will continue through as well. It's going to have the Twilight Council continue to come into play right now. As again, Siege Tank, Viking, another Marine, all coming through for the moment. A couple of Adepts trying to shade in toward the main base. These two Adepts are going to come forward once again. He is just trying to make their way straight through. I mean, this is going to be a nice attempt of the Adept to try and tank a little bit. The Immortal is going to try and get on top of the Siege Tank. The Stalkers get rid of the Banshee. The main units are going down very quickly here, and that opens the door for SOS to continue fighting here on the natural expansion. Gets the Warp in off from the Warp Prison. The Siege Tank on the high ground is putting some work in. That Immortal still taking some hits. They are going to see the Stalkers and the Immortal coming around the other side again, so just be able to come straight through. A few of those SCVs going down for the moment. Few SCVs are going to pull in and just going to be having the Orbital Command going down immediately. So that's going to be a nice grab. Again, a couple of gates and the Immortal still coming online here for now as the Prism comes up. But yeah, we have put ourselves in a great position. Killing the Orbital Command. Suddenly your upper base here is SOS, and here, if anything, is going to be on what, a one base all in? I mean, do we just like try and go? I mean, I don't know if SOS needs to be fighting right now. He drops the Immortal onto the 2 Siege Tanks though, and he is going to get both. Second Immortal showing up as well. I love it. SOS just doing SOS kind of things right now. Absolutely love it. Fantastic stuff as we do see him. I gotta say, just doing what, like, to me, what SOS does best a lot of the time, right? Awesome stuff. The Prism going to bring the Immortal over, and the two of them together will work their way through a few Marines with the Warpins coming up as well, so we continue to get that on the go. This does look, I mean, very good for SOS to take a map. Yes, me at the start of this series, or start of this game, even being like, well, I think this is a bit of an outmatch. But it would be cool if SOS could pick a map. I don't think that's possible. He does it in the most SOS way possible with kind of an off-timing proxy, right? Like, it was an expansion, and of all things to proxy after an expand, the Robo facility. Like I say, it's a little bit unique. It's the kind of thing you don't see all the time. It's the exact kind of thing that is going to be 100%, you know, SOS kind of catch you off guard sort of kind of style, I suppose. Did you see the Medevac coming over? And we do take those units out across down to the bottom left-hand side. So, I mean, Kira's going to give it a shot on the other side, but obviously it is not really looking good for him. We can see that this is not really going to be a budding response. Maybe, I mean, he's 10 army supply down, so you could argue maybe if he can get a bit of harass, maybe he could make a push, but it's just unrealistic against a 27 worker deficit. And obviously SOS is going to have the base to mine with those workers. He's got the production set up too. And because Kira is only on one base, like, there's only one way that this goes, and that is Kira attacking. So SOS should just be able to set up, you know, for safety. I don't think Kira was even really setting up for the long term here. And that's going to be GG's. SOS ties this 1-1 in the best of 3. And we do get tied up here in this GSL Code S Group A. And yeah, just to make it clear as well, guys. Obviously, I'm live. Hello, I'm Wardy. I'm live right now. But these games are from yesterday's GSL. We're casting the replays. So when it says live on YouTube, it might be a bit deceiving because it says live at the start of the video title. That just means it's a live stream. It's for people who go on my YouTube and are specifically looking for the live stuff, so they know that that was a live stream. These games were replays. They are obviously being played, or they got played yesterday. So not trying to trick you guys or anything. Not trying to pretend that this is a live GSL cast. That's just the way that this setup is going. So yes, that's all. Hopefully that is clear. If you guys, I mean, it says in the bracket command and stuff that it's a replay cast and so on. So like I say, not trying to trick anyone. Just trying to keep the format of how I put things up on YouTube kind of the same as usual. That's all. We'll just run a couple of ads here, guys, as we're going to go to a game 3. And then we'll jump into Maganatha for the third map of this best of 3 series between SOS and Kira to start our GSL coverage. Obviously, we casted some of the qualifier games, which are pretty cool, especially because the GSL qualifiers do not get broadcast anywhere else. So, yeah, we casted a few of the qualifier matches the other day, and that was kind of the majority of content last week. Last week was a really weird week for me. It was like a lot of just downtime and not doing much. This week we've actually got some streams. Even if they're some shorter streams, we've actually got some streams, which is nice. Just a weird period because everyone's starting to build up into bigger events and stuff. Although, this weekend we've got the WardiTV May tournament coming up. So if you're looking forward to that, that's this weekend. We've got a great lineup of players. Obviously from the qualifiers, some fun players. We've invited a few fun players as well. Scarlet has accepted an invite. Clem is going to be taking part. Yeah, it actually looks to be like a pretty fun time. So really looking forward to that WardiTV May tournament over the weekend and into next week as well. If you're watching for more StarCraft 2, that's one of the things you can look forward to here on WardiTV. Hit that like and subscribe button and the follow button to see when we're live. And to see when you can catch more StarCraft 2. Just given another 30 seconds or so ad-wise, guys. I actually think we're going to be okay, though. I think we can just go. Shall we just go? Let's just go. Let's click watch. By the time it loads in, we do some intros. Everyone's going to be back from ads anyway. It's like, oh no, did Wardy say Q was in the top left or the bottom right? I don't know. I think we're going to be alright. I think we'll be okay. And we actually do, like I say, get to a game 3 of this series, which was definitely not my initial expectation, plain and simple. Would not have put this on my bingo card at all. I didn't really get to see the SOS games in the qualifier because he played through like PvPs and mirror matchups, and when we prioritized qualifier matchups, I did not really pick up any of those. He played a lot more of his, what I would call his interesting matches in rounds that we didn't get provided the replays of. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see much there. As we get into now this game number 3, let's get into it and let's do some introductions. In the top left side, our red Protoss player is SOS. Sorry, bless me. Bringing us through to a game 3. Bless me again. Now we were not sure it was necessarily going to happen at first call. In the bottom right hand side, the blue Terran player is going to be Cure. And like I say, he gets pushed to a game 3, some SOS aggression, catching Q a little bit off guard. I'm sure Q is going to be hitting himself a little bit like, shouldn't I have known there was aggression coming my way? It was just such a weird like attack as well, right? The couple of immortals just showing up and you're like, well, Q immortals just something I do not have a good answer to in the slightest, right? So yeah, a little bit awkward, a little bit weird in that regard. As the pro comes up, Barracks coming through, and the gateway coming online on the other side of the map as well, so just bringing all of that online for the moment. It's 10 past 10 in the Philippines, hell yeah. Always love hearing everyone watching from all the exotic places around the world. I'm streaming from, you know, a bit of a dumpster town in the UK, but you know, it's all good. You know, everyone watching gets to watch from beautiful places. I always find that so funny about streaming. Even not funny, just actually kind of cool, like the connectivity that it provides from, you know, between a bunch of people from all around the world, you know. It's very cool, as we just have ourselves the Adept, Chrono Boost now, the Warp Gate coming up, the CC is on the way in as well. Yeah, we just take a few moments to see where we're going to take things and what is going to happen as we continue through here. For the next few moments, just got the factory and the CC on the way in. Reactor and the bunker coming through as well. The Adept going to come across. I'm going to meet that Reaper for a few moments. Reaper is going to take a few hits and is going to just try and stay clear. Obviously, Reaper would love to continue through the scout as best as possible whenever it can, but has not maybe been able to do much of that just yet for the moment. Well, again, Warpgate coming up, a couple of Adepts and Probes and the Adept all on the way through as well. So again, we bring all of that up and running for the moment. The Reaper there is just going to start moving around, getting into the natural, moving up in toward the main base as well. Alien moving out, and again, a couple Marines, Starport and the Widow Mine all coming through for the moment as we get an idea of where we are headed. And yeah, Twilight Count's going to be finishing up soon. That Warpgate's still on the way. A couple of probes coming out currently. Just a blink on the way from SOS. No proxy building on the map. He is warping in the depth of a proxy pylon, but I mean, you know, he didn't proxy a structure, so it's an improvement in terms of being a little bit more regulated in terms of what we're doing here as SOS, although I'm not sure that he necessarily loves the fact it's regulated. I think he does love the idea of being crazy and hectic and all over the place. Wouldn't mind potentially lining up a few of the Adepts dodging back and away. Those Marines already going down, so these Adepts actually doing pretty well for themselves, man. The damage is so spread on the Adepts as well, so it took ages for the first Adept to fall, so they were one-shotting for a few moments there, longer than they maybe should have been. We get a couple of SCVs, we get a few Marines. I mean, this was 4 Adepts dead, though. It's not pretty, because, I mean, you're choosing to build those Adepts rather than other early game gateway units. That maybe opens the door for Cure coming across the map in this medevac. Potentially find a way to get something done as well. So some opportunity there. That Blink very much so still coming online. Nexus coming up is going to be finishing very shortly. Raven on the way. Full SCVs. The Barracks coming up as well. Add an Engineering Bay on. And the Hellion will be intercepted by the few Stalkers and the Adept. So it's going to get there, and that Hellion gets chased on out for the moment. And in fact, just going to boost up the right-hand side, so Yankyo trying to take some presence on the map. If he can get something going for himself here, could be very nice. So, again, some idea of what we're trying to do. Seeing a couple of depots finishing up at the front. And the medevac coming over as well, so again, just an idea of what's going on for these early stages, taking some positions, taking some setups. And the Adept is going to be there to try and whack away as we actually shape the Adept to actually absorb the first tank shots, and that's going to work. As you can see, those tank shots get absorbed. A few of the SCVs going to come for that wraparound and just going to try and repair up that bunker. Wow. So we just blink in, we get rid of the siege tank. Now the Marine's going to drop into the back, so this is going to force the warp in defensively. That does take some of the pressure off of Kira on the other side of the map, so that's definitely a big bonus as well. It's definitely a big positive. As these dogs continue to fight, a few of the Marines going down already. And again, charge coming up, the gateways and the probes continue to build as well. Double mill drop straight through, so both players are kind of trading some hits early. Still feel like, yeah, SOS has definitely lost a little bit more. He's traded a lot of units to be able to do what he's done so far, so not exactly ideal for SOS at the end of the day, right? Not exactly 100% great. He's been a little bit expensive in his trades. I wouldn't say he's had any, significant pickups either, right? The siege tank was nice, yes. But whenever you're trading a few units to be able to get the siege tank, it's a lot less meaningful, it's a lot less impactful in the grand scheme of things. So definitely some things to watch for in that regard as, again, the Probe facility starting up. Stim Combat and +1 coming through as we speak as well. And just having ourselves, until those bio upgrades are done, seemingly some peace on the map, peace and quiet. There's obviously the one medevac, but SOS knows where that is, so he's not going to, let it get away or kind of slide out of there easily. He's going to, make sure he keeps control of that. A couple probes going down, some mortar turret action comes through as well. So that's about it. There was some light harassment from Kira currently. There's the larger army as stim is finished, and that's going to encourage Kyo to get out onto the map, and SOS is immediately like, oh, nope, do not like that, do not love that at all. Got that Robo online, a nice little addition to the tech here. As the Bio joins up on the watchtower and continue to head towards the top side. Concussive shells in the armor upgrade coming through too. Still got that Robo Bay just building for the moment. Stalker showing up. The Widow Mines looking to set up as well. Bio will continue to stim across. Again, the +1 armor and the concussive shells continue to come through. Nexus on the 12 o'clock going to take some heavy damage now. The Bio going to begin to focus up on that, so that Nexus immediately taking shots. That was a kill as well. So Nexus going down. We're going to try and engage into this here as SOS. Zealot's coming in from all angles. The Stalker's wrapping around too. The surround was good, but I just don't think the army quality is very good as SOS's supply is absolutely plummeting down. Sub 100 here as Kua with an upgrade advantage as well takes that fight happily. And SOS lost the base, lost a lot of his army. And it does feel like in a much more normal game, this is 100% advantage over to Kua. The chaos of the first game was nice for SOS. The surprise factor of the second game definitely worked in his favor. But in this game, which has definitely been a little bit just more straight up and standard, you can see the power of Kua really coming into play and really starting to show up a little bit in his favor. So nice to see that. The Vibe just going to set up a couple of Zealot Stalkers, the Immortal coming back around. Well, Widow Mine shot's going to go off on the Zealots as well, so you soften up that frontline defense of Zealots and you get rid of those. It's going to give the Bio a much easier time, continue to attack into Stalkers and Immortal and so on and so forth. The Widow Mine shots going off there. The Stalkers do take some of those Widow Mine hits. Continuing through, the Medivacs overhead going to be continuing to hang out as well. Like now, still chilling. Nexus setting up on the top side again. Extend Thermal Lance and the +2 attack upgrade both continue into play for now. So bring all of that in. And the Bio just continues to gather it together, and we are just going to send it. Colossus does get to live through this for the moment though, so a chance that that's going to be. I mean, if there's a way to survive, the Colossus obviously has a big role to play. Splash damage will typically be one of the bigger factors to kind of help you out in these situations. So, and extend Thermal Lens +2 attack coming through, and we survive. I mean, it's 50, 60 supply down. There's no denying this is absolutely meant to be Kua's game, right? Like, there's just no way you can say it any other way. Like, this has got Kua written all over it. But SOS has not died yet, and he will hang on in there. I'm just worried that the SOS magic is more so limited to kind of early game surprises more so than a later game kind of mystical comeback. But well, maybe SOS has some surprises in store for us. Maybe he has something that we've not seen. Let's see if he can, again, grab himself back from a terribly bad position here at this point in time. Stepping up, there's our Stalker coming through. Stalker's going to blink in. A couple of the Marauders going down already. Marauder, ship weapons, 2-2 upgrades coming about as well, so all of that's still coming online. Plus, it's just going to fly away. And a couple of probes are going to drop. The barracks still building. The starport's still building as well. And the 2 upgrades and the ship weapons. All continuing through. A few ghosts coming about. Just going to be having ourselves the +3 attack and the +1 armor coming through as well. Next in the battery still coming online as well. Just for now. Zealot's going to go moving away over to the sides. We do have ourselves the Colossus, the +3 attack coming about as well. So just bringing that straight through. The Bio going to get here and take out a pylon, or at least take on a pylon for a few moments as well. So a little bit more action as we do see this. Zealot's going to chase after some of those Marines. Bunga gets set up to help cover that as well. another Zealot. A couple of Vikings going to go in after the Colossus. The Stalkers can again chase a little bit, so we're going to see those taking some damage too. And we're going to start pulling back to the Bioforce in return though, and just resettling ourselves in a little bit. Cure's still maxed out, and honestly, I mean, Cure should be happy to fight, right? Maxed out against this Protoss army should be a situation that he looks at and says, yeah, I can play with that. I can play from this sort of a position. So, be surprised if that doesn't kind of remain true. He gets the Robo facility as a great catch. I mean, SOS might max out, but is SOS's army really worthy of being maxed out? That sounds like a weird question, but I think you might see what I mean when a fight happens. Because sometimes you get maxed out and it's like, great, you got max, but does that even matter when the fight comes around? Because your army just absolutely melts. Like, your quality of your max out is just so much worse than the Terran players. It just may not matter that you're maxed or not, but you know, all SOS can do is give it his best shot, right? So try and get maxed out here, take the couple of fights that he can, and see if a fight presents itself where Q messes up the positioning, where SOS can capitalize and take a great engagement and jump back into this game. Because, man, does he need a little bit of an electric shock to get him back on track at this point. He is absolutely off the beaten track, and like I say, could definitely do with a little bit of a jolt in the right direction again, if possible. Also moving over, Bio Viking Ghost is coming about as well. It's going to be seeing the shots continue through. And the Fusion Core coming up from Kua. He's playing this nice and safely as well. Your Fusion Core obviously allows you to get into Liberator range. Liberators with +2 ship weapons are going to start absolutely shredding. There's a point where they just start, you know, absolutely whacking down those anti-air units, and you know, they're already good in good numbers, but they're going to be even better at that point, so it'll be huge. So it's Colossus Stalk's going to open up some rocks. I mean, SOS showing that he might want to try and get across, which makes sense, because if anyone doesn't want this game to go longer, it's probably SOS in a way. Because the longer it goes, the better and better his opponent's tech gets to. Whereas his own tech right now is not great, and maybe you can just hope that at least being maxed out is enough for you to take a good fight. Whereas if your opponent just gets into better and better units, you catching up in that regard may just be a challenge too far. So he's going to go for equal numbers and see if that can maybe give him some hope here in this game number 3, as the Colossus will do their thing. The Stalker's going to try and get on top of those Vikings straight away. A few of those Vikings being popped down pretty much immediately. One Colossus, multiple other Colossus. Going to go down. Honestly, from SOS, it's not a bad effort, but there's also an entire Terran army across the map that's going to get rid of a base. No recall available as we EMP the Nexus, and that base will go down. Probes have already been dropping as well, so SOS is losing out big time on the other side of the map, back at home. And yeah, Q obviously would have beaten that army even more convincingly if he'd had the rest of his army all joined up in the engagement rather than split across to be harassing on the other side. So I think pretty fair to say that Q has definitely got himself the steering wheel in both hands for this game number 3 and for this opening series of the GSL 2025 Season 1. Stalker. I mean, this army doesn't even look like it should be being pushed back. Maybe just respecting the Zealots a little bit, respecting the Disruptor. It's GSL. You don't take risks. You don't take chances. You don't take moments where you're just like, well, let's see if we can make... No, you just play to the absolute pinnacle of your ability. And that means until the very end, you're stepping back and you're making sure every trade goes as well as it possibly can. GG's. Good stuff from Q, but fun to see SOS stealing a map away. I really do think that's a very cool result that just gives us a little bit of like life and flavor. And, yeah, you know, I'll believe a little bit in SOS in the elimination match later. That does mean that Q moves on through to the winners match and is a match away from the round of 8. We'll see who his opponent's going to be. It's going to be TVZ because the next matchup is Zerg versus Zerg, Solo versus Reynor. Reynor back in the GSL once again, trying to make a better run than what he's been able to make previously. So, yeah, Solo versus Reynor, and then the winner versus Cure, the loser versus SOS. So we're guaranteed after the ZVZ, a TVZ, and then a PVZ. So we kind of know what the day looks like, if nothing else. So that's a nice little something for us. Worried about how slow you played mid-game. Worried if opponent got maxed out, the advantage would be squandered. Yeah, but I think that's also just the case of, like, like Kira knows as well, like he was significantly ahead, and like the army he's building is just so much better. Like there's one thing to be maxed and just max on whatever you can get your hands on, which is what SOS was doing, and then there's another thing to be maxed and having crafted yourself into the army you really want, because Kira could choose what he built because he had the time and the luxury and the money to do it, right? Whereas SOS very much so had the opportunity just to build whatever he could to survive, and that typically leads you to one army which is much better set up versus the other. And so unless you really screw up the engagement, when those two armies clash, it's typically one side. And you see this quite a lot in StarCraft too. So, yeah. Fun stuff. Alright, I'm just running some ads, hence a moment or two of waiting, and then we'll go into Reynor versus Solar, guys, for the next series today. It's obviously just another opening matchup in this group, and then we'll be moving into, like I said before, the winners, elimination, and a decided match in that order as well. So we'll continue in that way. Alright. Again, hope everyone else is doing well. Hope everyone's doing great. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. As we'll be kicking into some more GSL games. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. There's plenty of other places to watch GSL. There's like 100 different community casters that will probably provide. It was so funny. So I went on the GSL Patreon earlier. And, yeah, I went on the GSL Patreon and went to download the replay pack. And I looked at the replay pack comments, and there was like 7 comments on it, and all 7 comments were basically, it was like, Harstem, hey, you didn't put the replays in the folders. Loco, hey, please could you upload the replays? They aren't there. And just all these content creators just being like, hello, we need our content. There's a couple others in the exact same vein as well, so it was just kind of funny to see the the reality that is everyone will be obviously casting GSL. So I appreciate you guys coming in and watching it with me and enjoying some games together. Appreciate you all. Thank you for streaming on YouTube. No worries at all. Thank you for watching on the YouTube. If you appreciate it, hit the like button. Super easy and free to do. If you don't already subscribe to the YouTube channel, consider doing that as well. Catch more of our content. We're going to continue to do all the YouTube, all the GSL matches for this first season for sure. So yeah. All right, I think we're good to go, guys. Let's get started up into this next matchup, which is going to be Reynor versus Solar. Get straight into this, and we can go. I actually really managed to talk all the way through the ads. I was only meant to kind of talk for a minute or two, but sometimes I start talking and I just don't stop at the end of it, you know? All right, let's get into some in-game second best of 3 of this group, as we are going to have ourselves in the top right side, the Blue Zerg, who has definitely not hit the performance level he would like to have hit in GSLs previously. Definitely was wanting to kind of improve on that this season, I'm sure. It is going to be our Blue Zerg. In the top right corner, it is Reynor. Tough matchup, though. Because in the bottom left, our red Zerg is Solar, and he has a particularly dangerous CVZ. So I would definitely say that this one is kind of up in the air, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, kind of up in the air. Like, I think Reynor is good, but I think Solar can be very dangerous in the Zerg versus Zerg, so guess we shall see. Alright, I'll get this rolling then, as we have ourselves the catching the gas in the pool coming up initially. Catch gas pool all coming up. Gonna be seeing a couple drones coming about as well, so we get that settling in. Overlord's just moving around. Obviously, Overlord's going to be very important in the ZVZ because they are going to provide you all of your vision. So getting them in some good positions goes a long way. Overlord's crossing paths, a couple of drones coming up. And get settled in for the moment as the Overlords continue to come over. Instant speed on the way from both players, so far on the ZVZ, nothing too crazy. SOS is back. Yeah, SOS does seem to be back. I was talking about this in the previous series, but just super surprising to see him kind of showing up in a GSL in the first place. Like, he just qualified, like, out of nowhere. Hadn't played an official match in a super long time. Came in, qualified. He played, like, one online tournament just before the GSL qualifiers, and then just, boom. Showed up and meant business. Really crazy to see as that link speed comes in from both players. Ling's going to come nibbling about, so he gets set up for a few moments. Again, the Bane Nest coming through, the Hatch is coming online. Take a few moments here to get rolling. Yeah, Link's be coming up, the Bane Nest coming through, add that Hatcher on as well. Keep that going. Looking good so far as we settled in. Link speed is about to finish up, and that, again, Bane Nest is going to be completing soon. Both players playing very much so the same style. Pretty similar gas counts in the bank as well, so we'll see how many Banelings each one makes. See if anyone wants to get aggressive as well and start trying to push onto the other side of the map or not. Definitely a interesting choice. Those drones all coming through, the Overlord coming about, the Evolution Chamber coming in, Queen is building as well. Need to bring that all up as the Overlord and the Queen go moving about for the moment. So again, we get settled. And yeah, +1 missiles starting in, the extra drones coming over. We get all of that building for now as the Roach one just starts up. Difference going to be a missile upgrade versus a lair currently, so that's kind of the difference on some gas investment. The lair coming in from Solo, the +1 missiles from Reynor. And then the, yeah, well, let's see where we kind of go from there as the Lings and the Bane just gather themselves. Nothing crazy happening there just yet. Again, just gonna see there's a couple of Evo Chambers still coming up, so we will have ourselves potentially some upgrades starting on the other side here in the next few moments. So again, we get that settled for the next couple of moments, and we'll see where we're gonna go. Lings gathering around, Blair coming online. Spinecrawl starts up from Solo as he's recognizing that Reynor is kind of making roaches and kind of coming, but both players are actually on equal work count, so the real difference is just the fact that Solo's kind of built the lair and then, I mean, not doing anything with it, so then Reynor's just going to have a +1 missile advantage, and, well, let's see. I mean, it should mean that Solo shouldn't be too far behind on unit count, and then it's really just kind of, you know, setting off the unit advantage or the upgrade advantage a little bit. Ooh, Solo's going to drop the Spire, though. That's 200 gas, which is not going to be in the right place if Reynor truly committed to an attack. Then that's 200 gas that's not going to be in roaches to help you defend, so the Spire is an interesting choice because obviously Solo has the information too. He's been spotting these roaches, he's been keeping an eye on them, and being able to kind of see that stuff is obviously a big deal. So it means that Solo is making informed decisions, and his informed decision is to start up the Spire. So gets that underway. I'm actually still a little bit worried that he might have overshot that, and he might actually still be in a little bit of trouble because here come a group of units now on the side of Reynor, starting to push across the map. So they're going to come straight over. A couple of Ravagers going to start morphing in as well. We are just going to fully send this one in the next couple moments as Reynor is going to commit with +1 missiles. Obviously these roaches are slow, but hey, Solo doesn't have the speed anyway. And now all his spines start building back up, but he might have just identified this too late. Spends a bunch of his gas on the Ravagers. So he's going to try and use those as part of the defense, but he's just down so much supply. The investment into the Spire is just not ready yet. The Spine Crawlers are not up, and Reynor hitting a Beautiful little timing just to strike on through and look very, very good here so far. In fact, that's just going to be good enough to get you the W, and Reynor is going to take the first game of this best of 3 in his favor. Nice and speedily. So very comfortable opening game for Reynor. Puts himself into a good position, and we'll be heading into game number 2 here in just a couple of moments with Reynor in that 1-0 lead, looking to match up against Cure in that second round, or that winner bracket matchup, for the chance to advance straight through into the round of 8. Because it was a fast game, we can get straight in, no holding back. In the top right side, our blue Zerg player who will take the 1-0 lead with that road ship. It was kind of weird because it was like both players were on the same drone counts. It wasn't super all in from Reynor, but he just identified the ability to attack when his opponent was tacking up, and hence he was not ready. So Reynor takes the 1-0 lead, and Solo was the unprepared one, falling to the wayside there in that opening game. Now down by a map, going into game 2 of the best of 3. Game 2 of the best of 3. Up and away we go. Couple drones just coming about. Hatchery coming down. Getting set up over there as well. Going to be a hatchery on both sides of the map here initially. So not really too surprising, right? Kind of what you would expect to see for the moment. Did they move the regular GSL times? This is me just casting GSL replays, so I think GSL is still at kind of a similar time to what it always is, but these are just the replays from yesterday. I'm live a little bit later than myself, usually because, yeah, when they first uploaded the replays, they actually didn't upload the replays. So, yeah. Yeah, this is just my coverage of the GSL replays. Oh, he's so good at speedrunning the game lobbies. Not really. I usually try and buy as much time as I can so ads can play out and I can pretend that you guys didn't miss anything, and, you know, try and make sure it's only the first 20 seconds of the game we miss instead of the first minute 20 seconds. I'm terrible at speedrunning the lobbies. Everyone's always upset at me for not going faster, you know? On the way through as we get settled in for a couple of moments. Link speed coming about. We get all of that underway for now. And a couple of queens coming through, the drones and the lings going up for the moment. So yeah, a little bit of everything on the way in currently. Link speed building, the queens coming online. And again, a couple of those lings continue to gather together as well. Yeah, so guys, tomorrow I'm going to be doing Group B as well, and tomorrow I'll probably be live like at least an hour and a half earlier, just because tomorrow the replay should already be up for tomorrow's stream, so I'll go live at kind of my more normal time, probably like 1 hour later than I usually do, just because I know this is not like a long, these days I'm not super long, like 5 best of 3s isn't super crazy, so I'll probably just go live like 2 p.m. CEST or something like that. Still new again with GSL coming back. Yeah, it's really nice to see some other events happening again. It's really nice to it's just nice to have the bigger events happening, right? Like actually have these things that kind of make StarCraft. Miss them as much as I kind of love being able to kind of run a bunch of my own events and having like free, you know, scheduling space and so on and so forth. I actually do look at the return of the bigger events and kind of smile a little bit. Just a little bit of a shame it's all super crammed. Like the next couple of months is kind of rough on my schedule because there's so many bigger events happening. Like I obviously still have to try and stream myself. I can't just not stream for 2 months. So a little bit of an upcoming battle, but we'll do what we can as the Gitlings coming about. Just going to be seeing the jump onto this hatchery. Bane coming about as well. Rotron, Lings, all in production currently. As we see the few Lings going to try and get on through. Hatchery still taking some nibbles. Bane Nest coming around here. The Lings and the Rotron coming up. Yeah, I mean, obviously just a little bit back and forth. I would say Ling Bane versus Ling Bane, but mostly just Lings on the side of Reynor. This is all going to get shut down. This is all going to be everyone turned away. No real crazy scenarios just yet then. We get to reset ourselves and go once more. into the next steps of this as the few lings are going to chase after a few other zerglings. Going to start coming about. Going to see that queen going to get grabbed a little bit as well. Goes down pretty much immediately. Again, a couple of lings, a couple of overlords, the roach, the queen, all continuing up for the moment. So bringing that straight through. Baneling going to connect as well. Doesn't go to do too much either though. Single zergling just nibbling. Hatchery taking damage. You're going to be seeing the queen is going to be there and firing back. Lings try and come back and over from that right-hand side. So this back and forth continues. Solar has been able to make it up to a 40 drone count of 35. So a little bit of an edge for Solar, who's also on his way to his first few roaches. Reynor now starts up some roaches of his own. Looks like we're staying on hatch tech for a while between the two. Solar ends up losing the hatchery though. So Reynor kills the hatch. Solar will be able to instantly rebuild that, but that's 300 minerals that go there rather than anywhere else. And that's obviously a big deal. You could argue that obviously the few extra workers Solar's had has helped him to kind of afford those 300 minerals, but well, still, I mean, it's damage that Reynor kind of needed to get, I guess, before being a little bit behind otherwise. I don't think Solar has much of a counterattack in him. Solar's just going to start setting up into the lair. So Solar decides lair time it is. Going to get going straight into this. Couple overlords coming up as well. Yeah, Reynor has plenty to defend at home, so I don't think there's any real fear of like a Solar counterattack. Like I say, Reynor definitely seeming to have pretty good numbers for the moment. The lair coming up, the hatch coming through, extractor and creep tumors coming about as well. We continue to bring that all into play. Again, roaches continue, lair coming through, plus one missiles coming about just for the moment. This thing's going to come running forward as well. Just going to see the rest of the drones coming about also, just for now. Also, the ling has come through as well. So again, just doing what we can. Well, Bane's going to start connecting in also. Roach speed and plus one missiles now in production. We just have ourselves the that going through too. Again, a couple more drones, roaches, so we'll join the company as our queens are going to gather up. Going to put some damage out onto the Overseer for a few moments. Yeah, roach speed and that plus one missiles building for now. Where are we at then? I mean, Reynor's taking a bit of a worker lead, but Solar actually absolutely has the army supply lead here, so pretty big factor for a moment or two. We'll see us still getting up to the top. Gonna see a couple of those creep tumors coming down as well. Continue to spread that about a little bit. Again, plus one missiles and that roach speed coming up right for the moment. Obviously, just going to take a few more shots. The queen's getting straight toward that and able to push that Overseer around a little bit. Again, getting some value here so far. Roach Ravager trying to push through. Roach is coming back in the other direction. Still got the +2 missile upgrade coming up on the side of Solar. Couple of corrosive bars going into the center there as well, trying to hit what they can. The lings run up into that mineral line. Drones will begin to be in trouble. Couple of corosive bars. Solar just again has the army supply advantage here, trying to make the most of it right now. Nice spank roll from Reynor is the kind of thing that might help you out quite a lot. It's actually getting a lot of damage done as well. It's here for such a long time. Problem is, Solar's also up in that main base. He's forcing the entire main mineral line to disappear and not be mining at the moment. So Reynor losing some of that. Some of his reinforcements getting caught by those lings as well. So Solar to run by, finding some damage and finding some opportunity. That barrel still building on in. Got the +2 missiles and that overlord speed as well, so just a bit of everything coming through for the moment. We're setting up, and then the few lings just going to nibble straight through. The couple of drones already taking some damage as the roaches step across. A few zerglings taking hits as well. And plus 2 missiles, and so all coming through. The burrow coming online. The overload speed is about to finish. More roaches coming up as well. So it's just maxed out, so definitely has been able to just edge his way into such a better army, some better trades, and now is in position to kind of just send it. I mean, he's going to get Burrow and Tunneling Claws to help out as well. More files, obviously the spines have been helping Reynor to try and survive through this, but that stagger defense will only really go so far. And Solar just clearly has a whole lot more than what Reynor has at the moment. Continuing to kind of smash on through, looking very good. Roach Ravage still coming up as well. A couple more of the roaches taking hits. That's going to be GG's. Solar is going to take game number 2. And we're going to get tied up 1-1 in this best of 3 ZVZ. And there you go. So yeah, we are going to have ourselves a game 3 coming up between these two players. Where can you watch GSL live? GSL is broadcast on Soup, which is the older which is the new name for Africa. I'm sure if you type in GSL Soup, you'll find a live stream link. But yeah, they don't live stream on YouTube or anything. Well, they do upload the VOD to YouTube, so you can watch the VOD on YouTube if you wish. But yeah, they don't live stream on YouTube like they did the previous seasons. They've gone all in. Their freedom from other sources allowing them to just say screw the other places to watch, you know. So yeah. Wonder why GSL didn't go to best of 5 instead of best of 3. Danger of it going too long. 5 best of 5s can be very long if you're doing a live show. Like 5 best of 5s can be pretty, like if you have like each best of 5 takes over an hour, that's like a pretty serious commitment to a show that starts kind of late in the evening. You know, and you already have, the thing about shows like GSL is you already have the downtime of like, you already have, yeah, you already have like the downtime of just like, you know, post-match interviews and setting up and like the other stuff that takes place. So to put on like a 4 to 5 hour show, you don't need to run best of 5s. If I want to run a 4 to 5 hour show, I need best of 5s, right? Because when I finish a best of 3, the next best of 3 is just ready to go, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no fancy stuff. We're not doing interviews or anything. So if your goal is to make a 4 to 5 hour show, you just don't need best of 5s. Best of 5 is like a benefit of us being able to just be an online kind of community cast, and you know, we really can just shove as many games in as possible. It's pretty reasonable. This is why I always think it's okay for us, because like I say, if you've got a target time, we can meet that target time by requiring more games. I personally don't care about interviews and stuff myself. Like, I'm one of these people who I'm very content with having just watched the game. I don't have this inquisitive mind to be like, man, I really want to know why. I want to hear from Reynor why he did this in that game, you know? Like, I always really struggled with this when I was the host for, like, the online seasons and stuff. And they're like, you need to do interviews. I'm like, I actually just don't care. I'm very happy you won. The games were cool to watch. I'm just satisfied by having watched them. I don't have the inquisitive mind to ask you further, you know? So, yeah. Alright, we are going to go into this game 3, guys, in a couple of moments. Let's get this hosted up. Mag and Nath are going to be our 3rd map. Thanks for the answer, and also thanks for your great cast. No worries. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. GSL doing GSL things limiting itself. I mean, yeah, I understand they want to push their platform, and they might see that as the most important thing. But I think the reality is that at this point, if you're trying to crowdfund GSL, it's actually more important to actually stream GSL to somewhere most people will watch it, you know? Then you might actually be able to successfully crowdfund it with the Patreon and stuff, like, better. Streaming it to Soup, I mean, maybe the only way this exists is because they sell it to, you know, the uppers and Soup say the only way we can make this work is if we truly use it as an advertising tool to get our website out to foreign audiences. I just don't know what value they have of getting their website out to foreign audiences. It's like, is this really somewhere where a place they need people from outside of Korea to like come to. It's very interesting. In number 3 of the ZVZ, hatchery first from each, so no surprises in the very first few moments of the game. Hatch, gas, and pool all coming up. We just got ourselves settled down for a few moments. A couple drones coming about as well. Hatch on the natural. Spawning pool coming up. Extractor coming through as well. We just take ourselves a few moments. Yeah, a little bit of setting up, guys. Nothing really super exciting happening in the first few seconds of the CVZ. You forget sometimes how uninteresting as EVZ can be for the first few moments. We don't cast them that much, so sometimes, you know, usually the first couple of games we're like, oh my god, 2 Zergs in the same game, what's happening? Yeah. You know, but the reality is that actually ZVZ, if they both mirror each other, does just take a moment or two to get anywhere. Obviously, once Ling speed is done, you start having the possibility of Lings harassing and kind of throwing themselves at each other, but yeah, until then, this is not a mirror where much happens for the first 2 to 3 minutes unless someone, like I say, is really pushing the envelope in terms of developing something a little bit different to the norm. But, yeah, when it's norm versus norm, this is kind of what happens. We sit back, we wait, Bane Nest start, Ling speed's halfway done. Maybe about 3.5 minutes when we maybe see the first few Lings that are really going to be kind of action happening. There's also going to be that choice of, do you make Lings or do you keep droning? Do you become the defender or the aggressor? Which role do you try and take on in this situation? Typically that role will then reverse. It's kind of more so like, which role would you like to start with? And then you're going to play swapsies as the match and the battle goes on, right? So, it's definitely something to think about there as that Ling speed continues through. Lings coming up on either side, drones coming about, Bane Nests are going to be finishing shortly as well. And just comes about, just going to be seeing now again another Baneling morphing through for a couple of moments, so a little bit of action. Rotron still coming into play as well. Again, the drone, the few Lings continuing up too right now. Let's bring all of that straight on in. As the Zergling gets taken out, Feeling is able to get there, making a little nibble. We're starting to see obviously some interesting turns as the Carapace upgrade comes up from Reynor. So he's looking to play a Ling Roach. When you play Ling Roach, you're obviously going to be kind of on a little bit more of an aggressive army for a little bit. You typically do want to try and get that army on the map and try and fight with your upgrade advantage. Let's see what Reynor can do with that as the Lings right now from Solar showing up. Want to come around for a nice little bit of harass. Just getting a little bit of a wrap around here and there. Some damage being dealt, like mentioned. Shame Reynor didn't stick to playing Toss in the mirror matchup like Clam. I wonder how that would have gone if he really like hard committed to it, because obviously Clam has really made that hard swap. But he's fascinating to see if Reynor had done the same, because Reynor's PvZ was extremely good. But again, it's always those mirror matchups as well, right? Where it's just like, the mirror matchup just feels that little bit less consistent. There's a little bit more volatility to it because of the way that, you know, mirrors work. And so the players are like, well, what could I do? You know, is my PvZ good enough to actually just make this matchup more consistent for me? Reynor obviously didn't play a lot of StarCraft 2 the last few months though, right? He definitely was one of the players that took a bit of a heavier break with there not being bigger events. So definitely, if you're going to come back, better to focus on just that main race than trying to get your off-race tip-top tier as well, right, as the Roach is going to smash in. So Solar showing up, fighting before these spines are ready, and Reynor just not ready at all. Carapace upgrade not done yet either, so Solar is going to get in for some really early damage, and is going to come in absolutely swinging. So a bunch of units already going down. The Roach and the Lynx continue to push forward. Carapace upgrade will be finishing soon enough. Now that Carapace upgrade's done, it's nice, but upgrades don't really matter if you don't have the numbers, and numbers are a severe issue for Reynor right now, as those Lings, especially wrapping around those Roaches, make this a little bit of a tougher trade to really end up taking in your favor, so that's going to be a problem too. Last few Roaches still whacking away. We have got ourselves still equal drones behind this. Solar now on his way to the lair. It's funny because this is, Solar's attack didn't succeed, but it's not like Reynor was even on the lair or anything, so it's not like Reynor was being super greedy. Solar's still here with the units and continue to catch. Obviously, those Lings putting work in. Just yet to really see the Carapace upgrade have a chance to show its value because we've not really seen the smaller trades just yet. Solar going to recognize the opportunity just to take out this third base, and he will do exactly that. Third hatchery goes down, taken out immediately, and Reynor going to be reduced to 2 bases, and Roaches and Queens on the way. Things as well. I mean, do we just send it? He has on a drone or two, which suggests probably not, and that's probably the right idea. I don't think sending it is necessarily going to get you into any sort of point of this game where you can just win out or anything. And the hatchery coming through. The Roach is still building +1 missiles, and the Roach speed coming up. These feelings are running into each other once again. Ling's gonna come across, just gonna hit the watchtower for a few moments. And missile upgrade, Roach speed continue to come through. A little bit of Roach Ravage still continuing by, +1 missiles and Roach speed coming up as well. Overlord is also in production currently. Have ourselves the lair. Continuing to build right now. So again, we get that all up and rolling for the moment. The Roach is going to move around the other way once more. So again, just pull it around. I mean, you can see the supply difference. Obviously, losing a third hatchery is really rough, especially as now Solar takes that eco advantage, gets those bases set up and everything too. Gets into so much of a better position here overall. What does Reynor really do from here? It's tough, especially when you're playing kind of Roaches yourself, right? Because the Carapace upgrade, like I say, is not going to matter if the numbers of units are just too far apart anyway. There we go, Roach Ravage is going to start stepping forward. Just going to be seeing those Roaches and Queens taking some shots right now. It's going to be way too many units, and Reynor is going to type straight out of this game with the GG and give this one over to Solar. So Solar is going to take the second series of the day, and he will move through to play Kira in the winners match, while it will be Reynor eliminated down to the elimination match, where he will play against SOS. Actually, I feel like we shouldn't be worried for Reynor in that situation, but like there is something which is like SOS, EVP, is a little tricky for Reynor out of all the matchups. SOS is a tricksy player. I think Reynor should be able to get it done with some pretty standard games, but like, there's something about me that gets curious about that matchup, so that'll be very interesting to see. As get going. Solar GG'd? Solar didn't GG. What are you guys on about? Are you guys crazy? Am I crazy? Solar was up like 70 supply. You guys see something I didn't see? Reynor won? Yeah? Okay. It's Twitch chat being crazy. Oh yeah, you guys got me double checking. Reynor said, "Ugh." Oh, like UGG? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Because he did the typo. There's something about how he types GG hits the Italian U a lot of the time, the accented U. Oh, yeah, I see. I didn't catch on. Oh, yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to take a couple of moments because I would like to go and grab myself another drink. So I'm just going to go grab a drink and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the Solo versus QS series. And then obviously after that will be SOS versus Reynor. And then the decided match after that as well. So 3 more best of 3s coming up. I'll just be right back, get a drink. Alrighty guys, welcome back. I got caught up for a second. Let's jump into Q versus Solo, as we mentioned. Gonna be our next matchup here. Get this on the way. As we have in the top right side, our blue Terran player. It is going to be Q as we enter the winners match. One of these two players about to make it through over to the round of 8 of the GSL. It's interesting because obviously there's 2 groups of 4, and 2 players will advance from each. So 4 players advance from the round of 12, joining 4 players that already made it due to their performance in the qualifiers that qualified them straight into group stage 2. So that's how the format works in case you're not familiar. And especially, obviously, I can't link the brackets and stuff right now because, well, yeah, can't link the brackets because there's just, you know, it'll be spoilers. I've actually done a pretty good job of not seeing the results myself as well, so it's kind of nice. Alright, we got Proxy Rax on the map. It's Q that is going to be obviously the Proxy Raxer as the Terran player. That's typically how it works. The day the Zerg is Proxy Raxing will be a miraculous day, but yeah, 2 Rax Proxy. I love it, man. Like, 2 Rax has not really been much of a thing at all. Bjorn has done it a couple of times or so, like, in the last few months, but it's just not really been a thing in the meta in the slightest. And Kuro comes in, first TVZ of the GSL season, 2 Rax. Fascinating. So he places those down to the 6 o'clock, and you're going to get a little cheeky here early on. Obviously, no gas. This is guaranteed to be Marines, not some kind of Reaper proxy or anything. And yeah, because there's no scout on this just yet, looks like he'll wait a little bit before committing. Oh, I love this SCV too. This SCV just makes it look so innocent to Solar. Right? Or does it? Oh, maybe he doesn't look so innocent to Solar, because Solar is... Oh, no, maybe he's coming out to take a 3rd base, right? Yeah, okay. That's how innocent Solar thought this was. He's hiding this drone from a Reaper because he thinks his opponent is just playing super normal because of the SCV scout timing. And now bunkers go down. Solo is absolutely clueless. And Cure is going to get off to a great start. He's definitely tricked him early on. And yeah, that is going to be a bunker wall-off. So, Solar is going to have to deal with this. I mean, he's going to have to pull a lot of drones. The Marine firepower is going to get rid of 2 drones, maybe even a Zerglin before we break through the bunker. One of those Marines lagging a bit behind is likely going to be caught here, but the other Marines are getting away, and these drones are chasing heavily. They're chasing super far forward. 4 workers going down, make it 5, looking for 6. Going to get to 6 rather easily as well. It's a nice grab, and that is going to be a good catch as we do see a couple of bunkers finished. So if we can just get these units into the bunkers, that'll be great as well. Problem is getting into the bunkers ain't easy. The Queens will zone, the Spine Crawler up, and so we will start to defend this to Solar, but man, so much lost mine time. I do not love how far out he pulled those drones, to be honest. Yeah, I felt like those drones pulled so far. I mean, that said, Cure does lose 2 bunkers there. Obviously, you can't salvage them anymore. Salvages get cancelled when damage is taken, so salvaging just doesn't work if the Zerg is paying any amount of attention, and just, you know, make sure you target them both and keep damage on both. You don't even have to, you know, put damage on, you know, you don't even have to target fire them at specific times. Just put, like, at least 1 ling on the second bunker, and, you know, you will never get a salvage off as the Terran player. So that's one of the more costly things about 2 racks nowadays, is that those bunkers are a permanent, typically a permanent cost. Now, Solar is able to defend this, but in a pretty horrible position. I mean, he's down 6 workers. A lot of his workers were not mining throughout this. He's had to build a Spine Crawler as well. To me, this looks absolutely fantastic for Cure. Feels as though he's going to be super happy. Like, it's weird because it's like, you feel as though Cure really do much. But yes, killed 7 drones, so yes. And then, again, you think about all that mining time lost for Solar as well. Look at that income advantage, and it's still in Cure's favor, and that's not a good sign that we're still in Cure's favor on the income. And the only saving grace is the CC of Cure is later, but even that is finishing up now, about to be an orbital, and about to go down to the low ground, so even that part of this is getting sorted out shortly, as we do definitely have ourselves a Terran advantage here in this game 1. So that's a few Marines moving forward too, and this is a moment where if you're being a bit too greedy as Solar and don't make units, these few Marines might be able to find something. Obviously, if there's a hatchery on the way and there's no units, in this case there's no hatchery, so I'm not sure how far forward we might try and go as Cure. Well, I mean, we're about to try and build a hatchery, and the Marines show up, and the drone just about sees it in time to pull back, but it's an active creep team where we get rid of. Still, link speed's done. We can kind of be out on the map with these Marines. That's something we can get away with, so that's nice. And again, the CC coming about. Starport halfway done. Stimpack coming through. The reactor's on the way up. Again, Lings and the link speed building as well. Continue to bring those reactors through for the moment as we just have the orbital command landing onto the natural. Starport going to finish shortly. A couple of SCVs, the Marine and the Stim continuing through. The factory moves off the reactor over to the sides. Speed will finish up very soon here. Just going to be having a couple of Marines, getting another couple of grabs. I think speed is now done, so definitely not a time to be still out on the map with the Marines, but they're back at home, so we're all good. Solo just, obviously, again, super late third hatchery in comparison to usual, too. Meanwhile, the Terran player, third CC, is finished in base and is even floating out, so we're going to get the third base on location and completed sooner for Q than it will be for Solar. If that is not a sign of just kind of how rough this opening has been for Solar, then, yeah, I mean, like I say, the signs really are all pointed towards this being Q's advantage. What can Solar do from here? I mean, he just has to have some really good defense from here on out, right? We're just going to unload from the medevacs. Just going to have ourselves regathering. The Marines will settle back down together as well. A couple queens going to get jumped on here. First queen going down already. Combat shield coming up too, by the way. Going to be Solar with more problems to deal with as these Marines just continue to drop down, and actually going to be able to force these Lings back. That's not good. Solar already struggling to deal with this attack in the main base as well. So Kira just running straight through here, having a good old time of it so far. Able to get some favorable trades up until now. Spawn taking a few more shots of damage, is just about going to live through the day. As the medevacs do eventually leave. About 8 Marines going down, but again, some decent damage done with all of that. Really not half bad, all said and done so far. I think Solar just has to try and live, survive. If I typically talked about Solar's DVT, I'd tell you all about how it's just about survive until he gets the lurkers and so on, but I mean, that seems like an unimaginable stretch of distance away, but maybe that is just what he has to try and survive through to. Like I say, survival is just the one thing you play for right now. Try and live, and if you can live long enough, maybe you can go from there. Green's going to be there. Ling's going to chase away the other direction. Just going to see the melee and carapace upgrades coming through. Bane speed coming up on the Baneling Nest as well. Hey guys, I got these replays off the GSL Patreon. I paid my fair wage for them, okay? So yeah, you can get them on the Patreon if you want the replays. Marines come across, just going to get rid of the Zergling. We have the rest of the Ling Bane coming about as well. A couple of Queens coming through. Going to be seeing the Marines going to sit there. Tank shot firing, the rest of the Ling Bane coming back over. Hatcher's just going to get placed down the 6 o'clock. Just going to get that put straight into place. So finishing up his melee upgrades. They're going to be pretty even with the +1/+1 of the Terran, or the +2 already starting on the attack upgrades. So I'm really trying to find something positive to talk about on Solar's side, but he really is just behind, and these drops of Marines are only continuing to find value. A Queen or two, a drone going down trying to build a hatchery, some creep tumors, and potentially even a larger army setting up. We saw some of the tanks starting to make their way across. They've kind of stopped now. Not coming all the way over just yet. A couple of those creep tumors going down already, so a little bit of damage being done. The more the creeper deny, the easier it is for Q just to move around the map and take position wherever he kind of wants to be. He is up about 20, 25 army supply, getting into position here. He's going to be preset as well. Upgrades are even, at least for Solar, but yeah, he's going to have to take a fantastic fight to survive right now. Let's see if he can do it with the Pure Ling Bane. The tanks are very well spread. The Marines are very well pre-split. If Solar sends it, I think all Q is going to have to really do is stim, and like I say, the rest of the setup honestly looks almost like it's already done here. So I'm not sure if Solar can do much. He's going to counterattack. It's always a great idea if you don't think he can take the fight. Then try and counterattack instead, but the defense already there from QR2, so he's absolutely spot on with that. So no advantage taken there. Means we'll get rid of this hatchery. See the Broodlings going down. They are expanding over to the 9 o'clock now as well. And it's all just trying to get a 4th base up again. It's all in the aim of survival, right? Give up one side, take the other, just kind of settle for what you might get away with in this stage of the game. It's not a pretty way to play. It's not, it's definitely not pretty. It's not going to leave you in a good position at all. It's hard to really say we're going to be in any sort of positive position as the tank shots going through. The Ling's taking damage. 2-2 coming up as well. Conquest of Shells coming about. Marines and Widow Mines coming over. Barracks and the CC coming online also. As the Marines and the Medivacs make their way back through to the bottom side of the map here. A little bit of Lingbane Hydra going to try and turn around and add to something for a few moments. Bane just gathering. The creep team is going down. Let's see our Bioforce setting up. A couple of tanks getting sieged. We're going to have ourselves this army continue to gather together while Bane continues to move through. There we go. I mean, there's just so many Marines here. The tanks backing them up almost don't even feel necessary as just how much Q has. The Banelings are just getting melted by the Marine fire. A few Banes flanking the other side do not even get close, and this really was just all a result of that early game attack from Kira. The 2 racks 100% did its job and put Kira into an absolutely amazing position to start off with, and is going to lead us to a 1-0 lead for the Terran player, who sits now a map away then and qualifying through into the GSL round of 8. Alrighty then, we will head straight into a game number 2. I don't know why, but the ads are being my best friend today. I feel like the ads are just kind of going at like a good pace, so we don't have to kind of run ads between games as much. Nice. It's hitting a good pacing on the games. Alright, let's get into Pylon for our second map, as Kua is going to be looking to capitalize on the advantage and take this to a 2-0 if he can win this game. He is the blue Terran player in the bottom right corner of the map. Kua. He's playing here on Pylon, but no Protoss in sight, as his opponent is a Zerg in the top left. Solar. Again, winner of this advances to the round of 8. The loser is out to the elimination, to the decider match. So, not out of the tournament. I should have phrased that better. The loser is relegated to the decider matchup, which will be against the winner of Reynor versus SOS. So very dangerous because, you know, whoever you play there. I mean, if SOS beats Reynor, there's no reason SOS couldn't beat Solar, for example. SOS took a map of Kua earlier. And if obviously you end up playing against Reynor, that's always going to be a scary opponent, so would much rather kind of get a win now and have your day done, have your advancement confirmed. Let's see if Solar can bounce back going into this second map of the ZVT for him. See what he's got in store for us as the hatchery goes down onto the natural to begin with. Let me get this away. Hatchgasm pool building, a couple of drones coming up, the barracks and the SCV coming over as well, so just get all of that coming through for now. Hyper and Orbital both coming online. Yeah, Hatchgasm pool getting set up for the moment, so get that underway, get that sorted. CC halfway done, factory coming about. Again, Queens and the Lings continue to gather. Just going to be seeing the Reaper still making its way across for the moment. And the Queen will be about halfway done for a couple of moments here as well. A couple of Lings popping out. We're going to start trying to dish out some hurt. And we continue through with that Ling speed with a couple of drones on the way. Just a lot of getting set up and set around still, kind of coming into place for the moment as that Reaper continues to come over. And yeah, we're going to see the hatchery up to the top as well, coming into play for a couple of moments here. We got that placed straight in. So 3 hatches on the board for Solar. Obviously Q not 2 racks or anything, and we're going to see a little bit more of a regular game from him as well. We'll fight. Maybe we'll take some shots. And Ling speed will be finishing very soon. It's just got a couple of Hellions, SCVs, and Starport coming online. Command Center building as well. Starport swaps on over to the tech lab. Barrack's going to move on over to the side also. Let's see, the Queen is already on the way up, so bring that Queen through. A few Queens coming online. Drones in production. CC in the Banshee. Obviously, just very safe play from Q. Again, that Banshee out keeps you very safe against all the Roach play, and also doubles down as harassment, as it can be a lot of pressure you can apply onto the map as well. You'll see the Reaper and the 2 Hellions going to poke across, hit the Queen a little bit, so again, some damage being done just to begin with. Looking coming through, and Tech Lab on the way up for the moment. We get that all online. We'll see that first Banshee popping out, going to start going across the other side as well. A couple of Queens, Lings, and Overlords will continue to produce on in. Marines is going to hit the Overlord as well. Again, the Hellions, the Reaper gathering up, poking, Stim, Banshee on the way. Overlord goes down already, so Overlord will fall. It's going to be seeing the Banshee coming back around the top side. And a couple of engineering bays coming about, the SCVs and the barracks coming through. Sling's just going to keep patrolling about. The Banshees are flying across. Actually going to lift off with the reactor, make some way for the barracks. Obviously, we're just going to be on the 3 racks production here, and Q are going to start feeling pretty good about all of that as well. So got that 1-1 starting up for him, and let's see what the Banshees can do coming up the left-hand side. Solo just making his way to the Bane speed early, and then going to go into the Evo chambers from there. So we'll be working on his own 1-1 upgrade soon. Of course, like I said, that's what these Banshees can find is there is a Spore Crawler up, but that doesn't mean you're guaranteed a defense. 3 drones go down around the edges already. That Queen, backed up immediately too, realized it could go down if the Banshees wanted to click it, because it's just not near enough to the Spore Crawler. Like, it can fight back, but I don't know if you guys have checked, but Queen DPS versus Banshee DPS, that's a little bit of an outmatching situation for sure. Queen's get across, just going to get rid of 1 Banshee. Carapace upgrade still coming through. The Bane speed is about to finish. I've got Medivacs, Tank, Marines, 1-1 upgrades. Continue to come online for the moment. The Hellions are going to get there and hit the Queen for a few moments too. So a little bit more damage being dealt. That Armory continues to come online as well. So again, just a little bit of everything coming through for the moment. That Baneling speed currently being added on as well. So just bring that into play. And on top of that, the Armory. And so coming through too. So putting that Armory up, getting that all going. Gonna have ourselves the Hellions, the Reaper, and everything else coming up through the center for the moment. Quick Gym is being grabbed. The Queen's going to be getting hit as well. We still see the muscular augments continuing to come through. So yeah, so we're going to get to the Hydra-Ling Bane this time around. Obviously, at least that's a little bit of progress for him. He's already got Terran Army kind of on his front doorstep. He's going to attack straight into this mineral line, and he will see some success with that. I think the entire mineral line going down, so if you can hold on at home, Soul gets into a pretty good spot off that. 20 SCVs down. He can bring a lot of those units back as like a flank onto the rest of this army as well. Like, the tanks are doing work right now, but hey, this is absolutely huge as Cure is getting shut down heavily. So if you can take this momentum, roll into lurkers, then it's the kind of thing that Cure might not bounce back from easily at all. Down 30 workers at the moment. Looks as though Soul said, you know what, you can have this base. He's going to take the top right instead as a new fourth and just say, you know what, yeah, you take this position. I'm not worried, because as far as I'm concerned right now, the longer this goes, the better off I am because of all of that economic damage I've just done to you. And he is not wrong. If you can survive a bit longer, get some more production, that typically should favor Solar from this kind of a place. Sure is going to be reinforcing a little bit. He's still got, you know, he's had a lot of units back at home still though, so not quite full strength with that with this army that is pushing through the center. Still has a supply lead overall in terms of army supply. Let's see if he can continue to make use of it. Azure Kronos, thank you so much for 13-month resub on the Prime. Just thank you. No worries. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for Prime subscribing. Appreciate it. Lings and Banes are going to threaten straight into this mineral line, so the third base immediately under fire. Damage being done straight away. A couple of the tank shots trying to return fire as well wherever possible. Quite a few of those Lings going down currently. Army comes wrapping around the left-hand side. Hydra's going to set up as well. I'm just going to be seeing the 2G upgrades coming about. And Hydras and Banelings and Zerglings joining up together. He's going to fight. The Ling Bane's still taking shots. The rest of the Hydras coming back around as well. Still got the Marines in the tank and the +2 attack upgrade coming about. Bane Hydra still pushing through. Just going to be seeing a couple of those tanks firing away. Marines. Ooh, going to have to fight on both sides. It's interesting because the Banes are only on the left-hand side now, and we actually get able to get rid of all of those. Wow, what a fight for Cure. Those Banes on the left just came in too late, and so none of them were able to collapse in on the Marines. He just stepped up into the Hydras on the upper right while he dealt with those Banelings, and there was no fear of that because there was no Banes coming from the other direction. Talk about a powerful performance. Cure shaky a little bit against SOS, I guess, earlier in the game he lost, but otherwise, man, absolutely commanding play in TVP and in TVZ today. Cure definitely going to be one to keep our eyes on in this GSL season, because that was convincing. Especially against Solo, who is a very good player as well. There's no shade to be thrown around there. Solo is just straight up good. So yeah, GG's. And with that, we're going to be setting ourselves up into Reynor versus SOS on the elimination match, guys. So we'll get straight through to that for a few moments. Wardy is casting everything SC2 now. Oh, I just cast what I can. Sorry, I didn't see that message, but I mean, these are just GSL replays. Anyone is allowed to cast these. You know, I pay for them on the Patreon page, so this is just me kind of saying that, you know, instead of running my own stuff every single day, because it's a busier period and not everyone wants to play stuff every day, just trying to make do and get some streams going and cast some stuff that's already been cast elsewhere. We don't make a habit out of this typically, but like I say, for 5 days of GSL this season, it just helps me to fill in a couple of days on the week for the next couple of weeks. So this will be, just like I say, a nice little filler. It's quite nice. We got 800 viewers on Twitch. Got a couple hundred on YouTube. Good to see you all. Thanks so much for joining us, like I say. And yeah, good to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. If you joined, obviously consider supporting as well, but I'm not going to start too hard. Let me actually press the add button, though, because right now I'm just yapping without getting those ads progressed at all. You enjoying the video today as well? Hell yeah, thank you so much. How did that happen? I think just a really good position and good fights from Cure. Sometimes you just have the right amount of stuff, you know, and it seems crazy, but sometimes, yeah, you just have the right amount of stuff and you push through and it goes very well for you. Sometimes those are just the way things go. I know it sounds like very simple, but I think, honestly, it would have been a lot closer if Solo had found a better fight coming in from the other angle and the other side already, so So yeah, just a little bit late on those Banes coming in from the other direction, I think, was a big problem in the final fight. It was already kind of a little bit tricksy before then anyway, right? So, very interesting. Very interesting. Alrighty, guys. Like I say, we're just going to wait about another minute or so for the ads, and then we can go from there. Let's get some commentary going on what he's drinking start is defending against one base all ins. I hope so. I've always been susceptible to cheese though, so maybe not. Alright guys, give it about 10-15 seconds, we'll get started. Again, not trying to make this a drawn out process, but we do have ad requirements, so just let those ads run, and once the ads have run, we can go. And like I said, tomorrow we'll start about an hour or so later than we usually start, but we'll start a bit more towards our normal starting time and do the same coverage for Group B of the Code S round of 12. I keep calling it Code S, I don't know why, because I don't think I've ever really called it Code S. I've always called it GSL. But lately I've really been wanting to say Code S, I'm just not really completely sure why, you know. Crazy. Crazy. Alright, let's go into Reynor versus SOS. Let's do it. Any thoughts on who might qualify for EWC outside of the top 10? That's a great question. I don't really know, to be honest. It's very difficult because I feel like the way that the majority of the qualifier spots are going to be decided is going to be on these very brutal brackets that are just going to come down to 1 or 2 matches here and there, and may very well just be who's in better shape on that day. I honestly think beyond the top 10, it's actually such there's such a wild card of people that could make it through. Those qualifiers are going to be absolute heartbreak for a lot of players. It's going to be kind of brutal. I'm not looking forward to seeing the results because I feel like some people, like I say, are going to be heartbroken because of it. It's rough. I feel like we should just send everyone to the. I think we should send everyone to EWC, you know? Can't we just do that? Everyone's invited. In the top right-hand side, we have got ourselves the Blue Zerg player. This is Reynor, as he kicks off this elimination match, looking to do better than he's done in previous GSLs, as he takes on SOS, our Reddit Protoss. You looked and up until top 30, most have a serious shot. Yeah, no, I think so. Like the thing about the qualifiers is it really is just like a bracket as well. Like anyone could really make it on any given day. When you take those top guys out, we see a lot of like back and forth matches and a lot of like, you know, different results between the players who are not in the top, you know, the top 5 tier of StarCraft 2. So yeah. You know who's casting yet? Or for EWC? Oh, it's too far away. I'm not going to organize that for at least another month. Alright, so Reynor versus SOS. Like I say, SOS can be a tricksy player, and I do feel like PPC is this matchup right now that not a lot of Zergs really love, and I don't think Reynor really loves it either. So I would genuinely go into this and kind of consider it a little bit of a tricky one for Reynor. Like, I think he should be fine, because I do not think SOS is... And it's hard to say, because like SOS hasn't played much, and neither has Reynor really, right? So you've really got to just take these games as kind of like a little bit of a sign. But Reynor looked fairly okay in the qualifiers against Hero. He lost that series, but like, he beat some good players too in ZVP, so I think he should be okay here against SOS. I've got a little bit of SOS belief inside of me. Like, SOS is such a trickster. Maybe he can steal a map. I actually would still say Reynor's got to be a big favorite against SOS, right? If this was tip-top peak Reynor, who'd just come off of playing at EWC, so he'd been practicing for months before and so on, I think there's no question. My only doubt comes from the fact that Reynor has not played as much StarCraft 2 recently as some of these other guys. But then again, it's SOS who has not exactly been playing a whole bunch of tournaments either, right? So, yeah. Link speed building, a Void Ray coming up, the warp gate's on the way through as well. We'll have ourselves the link speed coming about for now. Just get this all set up. As we have the fleet the fleet beacon coming down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was like, for a second there, I was like, whoa, what am I talking about? I was like, nope, that is a fleet beacon, just actual process. That is a real life fleet beacon, so an early fleet beacon. Void Ray denies the Overlord to remove vision. Second Stargate comes down. Alright, well, typically from this, you see either Tempest or you see Carriers. I actually think this is Tempest because there's a pretty cool spot, I guess, behind the, to the north of the third base and to the west of Reynor's main, like here. Tempest can kind of sit there and really do a lot, I would imagine, right? So, I would guess this would be Tempest. A few players have played Carriers into, like, a delayed then Blink Stalker opening after, and you kind of use that as a way to have Sky Toss units out and so on as well, but no, he's just going to go into Tempest. Technology stabilizes as well. That's bonus damage against structures, so his Tempest will be able to deal a little bit better with anything, any structures that sit in range and so on, so keep our eyes on that as well. So yeah, Tempest it is. For the moment as we get settled in here. Rotron coming up, Lair on the way through, Drone and a few Overlords on the way out as well. Few seconds going to come running about, a couple Tempests join up, few Lings going to start getting into this mineral line and putting some pressure on as well. A little bit of damage being dealt there for the moment, so a few shots coming about just for now. Tempest actually going to move out onto the map a little bit as well. It's just going to get straight across, and we'll see what we can do with these Tempests. Genuinely excited. He's coming around the bottom side of the map with the Tempest, so maybe not quite the position I thought he was going to go for. Like that kind of dead air space, but maybe he just wants to hit like the natural or so. The extractor there is obviously fairly exposed as well, so that should be a little bit of a possibility too, perhaps. Activating, a few Lings continue to come about. Gonna see the Spore Crawler there, gonna hit the Tempest for a few moments too. And yeah, these Tempests can just hit and fight back. Queen wandering a little bit too far forward. Reynor gonna have to be careful of that. Couple of Adepts hit the third base at the same time, so SOS trying to multi-prong his way into a little bit of an advantage and a little bit of an edge here at the moment. Gonna kite backward with those Tempests and let the Queens continue to have to run in trying to chase them down. Spire on the way is obviously a necessity for Reynor because you've got to be able to deal with these Tempests at some point in better, in a much better manner. This Spore Crawler just kind of donates itself. There's 11 drones go down already. But Void Ray's coming up on the follow-up, so if we go Corruptors here as Reynor, then SOS is going to have a little bit of an answer for the Corruptors in the form of those Void Rays. Void Ray is very good in that regard. Ling run by does nothing as the Void Rays turn it away immediately, so that gets shut down without issue. Queen still getting jumped on. Multiple Queens going down actually, so damage really being done. Now going to turn our attention to the hatchery for a few moments. They'll put in some more work there. Plus one air weapons coming up as well. Great job by SOS, just getting rid of Queen after Queen. This hatchery on the natural going to go down too. My only concern is, do we have a good enough answer? We'll lose one Tempest, which is a shame, but do we have a good enough answer when, Corruptors are out? Are these Void Rays truly going to be able to hold on? While that counts on the way, I was going to say the next thing we really need is something like Storm to really just kind of protect us on the ground. And we start to move toward that right now, I think. So, yeah, Twilight Council coming in, we get that ready. Reynor losing that hatchery, reduced to a 2-base Zerg player at the moment. definitely not great. SOS making it happen for himself so far. I was surprised by the position he took as well, but maybe that is just what his goal was. He knew he could hit the hatchery from a good position there, and in the end is able to get that kill. But again, did not waste any time recalling those Tempests. He knew he was on a bit of a time, because if those Corruptors showed up and the Void Rays went with the Tempest, then he was probably going to have a bad time as well. Right now, Reynor continues mostly into pure Corruptor production, but he is getting roach speed and +1 missiles as well, as you can see other investments being made for the future of this game at the moment. More gates going down. The Tempest and the Void Ray is going to be there to be a defense to hold that position a little bit. Roach speed coming up, +1 missiles coming through, +1 flare attack upgrade also in addition right now. We just have ourselves a charge, +1 air weapons. Some other bits and pieces continue through for the moment. Tempest and the Void Rays moving about. I forget how fast those Void Rays go when they've got the Flux Veins upgrade. They are heckin' speedy when they get to move around with that thing. Especially when they're in a big cluster as well. Those Corruptors come through, getting a bit of a grab. Storm, the +1 attack upgrade coming online. A couple of high tempos can be joined by the charge upgrade as well, so we continue to bring all of that through for the moment. Corruptors continue to move about. Fueling's going to jump onto the Nexus here. Just to make some use of the Corruptors as well, right? Where you're able to just kind of come in and say, right, okay, well, what can I do with these things? Well, in this case, you can Caustic Spray and you can get the structure kill. Side before going down. And Storm is about to be done, so that's SOS powering up this army. I gotta say, Reynor's supply, it does not feel like he lost the natural expansion and was on 2 bases for a while in this game, does it? That kind of goes to show, I guess, the investment made from SOS initially and just how much he has to slow down to get into the rest of his army after. So, Reynor's supply actually looking good, but it is Roach Ravager Corruptor, so lower tech units. That's definitely worth keeping in mind as well. It's definitely fairly noteworthy. Let's continue through for now, so just again moving about here for a little bit. Coming over. GSL's going to get wolfed in along with everything else. The Tempests, Hong Kongs, High Templars gathering together for the moment. Couple of Zealots from the High Templars coming through. The Archon comes straight in as well. Just going to see the Blink and the +2 upgrade coming about. Again, Robo Facility, Battery, Cannon, all coming online currently. Oh, look, Den is going to be finishing very soon. I'm just going to be seeing the Roach Ravager still coming out. I'm going to get a couple of Tempest shots in toward those Corruptors already. He's just going to start chasing those away. Void Ray coming through. We're going to activate the Void Rays. Corruptors taking a lot of damage as SOS chases them out of here. Look, Den about to finish for Reynor as he improves his ground army as well. Definitely a nice big addition as a couple of Crows of Bars come dropping down as well. Those Tempests turn away, pulling back out of here. Again, Zealot Archon, a Templar and the rest all coming through. Gonna see the hatchery. Oh, in some trouble, but actually so is that army. Eating a fungal growth to start us off. SOS needs to be careful. Don't want to give up too much right now. Got to be a little cautious. I mean, he's stepping right up into creep and attacking into the spines. Attack into the fungals. He has High Templars waiting to kind of have the opportunity to storm even right now. Has not had the chance just yet. There we go. Starting to storm through. SOS supply not looking too pretty. The Corruptors are going to deal with the Tempests in the background as well. SOS, it's off screen, but the Tempests have all just died to the Corruptors. So the air army is gone. And so SOS is maybe looking okay on the ground. Like, it's a lot of Archons, but then it is also just a lot of Archons. A few High Templars that are running out of Storm Energy. And a couple of Lurkers are not going to do the job just yet as Reynor tries to scramble together the ground defense. He did great in the skies. The Corruptor's even going across the map to start caustic raining down bases, putting themselves to use. So Reynor making that happen during this, and he has just won this fight in the end. Because we are going to be seeing units warping in, but even forcing Stalker warp-ins, right? Stalkers against Lurkers that are coming through otherwise is not exactly ideal. So, through and through, it looks as though Reynor takes control of this game on ley lines and looking good to maybe bounce back a little bit on this one. And bring it back in his favor slightly as a few of these Zealots getting caught up in the Roach Ravager. He's going to be seeing the Immortal still getting some shots off. The Zealots are going to turn around. Those Roaches are going to try and deal with them. Corruptor's getting chased. Stalker's getting underneath. Chasing the Corruptors back the other direction as well. Stalker's still taking some heavy hits. The Roach Ravager is just going to be here on top of your base. Can SOS find a defense? I mean, Stalkers do have obviously some good efficiency they can typically find because of their blink ability, so typically do see that being a bit of a factor. There's a couple of Lurkers morphing in once again. I do think that's the issue here going deeper into this game now, is that those Lurkers are just coming up, and just SOS's army, like, he's got some High Templars, and so he doesn't have a lot of the techier units you would need to deal with like a larger Lurker force. The Immortal count is very low. It's at 1 right now. Second Robo only just beginning. There's no Zealots on the map currently, so all of your warp-ins have to pretty much be Zealots as well, because you kind of need those to buffer. There's just a lot of issues with this SOS army that are probably going to lead into bigger problems if they go unfixed. And I'm not really sure, like I say, you can really find enough to kind of fix these anytime soon right now either. And the Storm coming down. And +1 up. Shields coming up. The Immortal and the Robo Facility coming through. Just going to see a couple more of those Stalkers taking some shots. The Ling's going to come running in over here and hit that Immortal. Still sitting out overhead. The Archons taking damage still. The Zealots going to end up charging into this though, and those Lurkers will continue to take damage once again. So a few of those Lurkers taking some shots. Damage being done. Last Archon getting chased away for the moment as a couple of Lurker shots continue by. Corruptor's going to come back down. Still trying to threaten. Few Stalkers going to get taken out. We still have Corruptors up in the skies, the Lurkers too. I'm just going to unburrow, reburrow, still stepping forward a little bit. A few more Archons start morphing in as well. And have ourselves the Lurkers obviously putting a big siege on this. It really pressures SOS into having an answer, into having a response, but I think the reality is that this response is just not going to be there. A few Stalkers and Zealots in the middle of the map are starting to get caught by Lings. A few Lurkers show up. They're not going to have any way to really fight those at all. And again, a couple cannons are firing. And Archons coming through too. Lurkers still firing. It was such a good start to this game for SOS. There was just no follow-up to kind of... As soon as Corruptors came out, he played scared, and probably rightfully so. But then there was just no follow-up for so long that Reynor just had time to get right back into the game. And Stalker, Zealot, Immortal continue coming about. Overlord taking a few more shots. Another nice storm toward a few Hydras. The Immortal coming through. A couple of the Crypt Timbers going down as well. Probes currently dropping now. These things making it really quite deep in this mineral line. 13 probes going down. Still got the Stalker, Archon, Immortal, and all the rest fighting through. It's just never going to be good enough. It's never going to be the numbers we need. GG, and Reynor is going to take the opening game here off of SOS. Like I say, it was a really rough start for him. Definitely didn't start off great at all. And unfortunately, just for SOS, just wasn't able to, like I say, really capitalize or push kind of when he really needed to, or really had the advantage. Just, I think that's the issue with that build in general. It's like, you can do really well with the Tempest Harass, and then it's like, what is your follow-up from it? Like, That's why I kind of like the builds that go like double Stargate into like Blink Stalker, because you actually have like a genuine like ground follow-up that's really good. Whereas going Void Rays to protect the Tempest is cute and all, but it's like you actually still don't really want to fight Corruptors. So I would have rather seen like a ground army kind of follow-up, and if he actually built that in this game, I think he would have probably won it as well. Well, GG's, and we go to game number 2, which is going to be on Ultra Love. Will be I think we just get straight into it. It's PvZ. What's going to happen at the start of a PvZ anyway? That's going to be upset about... People are going to be upset about missing in some ads. Surely nothing! I say for Cannon Rush. Okay, if he starts Cannon Rushing, I'm going to pause the game. We do have the power of it being a replay, right? So if he starts Cannon Rushing, we are going to pause and wait for the ads to play out, okay? That's the setup that we're going for here. Setup that we're going for. Alrighty. Top right-hand side, the blue Zerg player. This is going to be Reynor. He's got a 1-0 lead. And looking to make it a 2-0 victory to keep him alive. That would set up a rematch against Solar in the decider matchup if he was to win this. For another ZVZ. Obviously lost to that ZVZ earlier today. It was 1-2. Some close games. ZVZ can definitely flip very easily from one side to the other. So, very winnable series, I would say, for Reynor. SOS in the bottom left. Can he take us to game 3? It was such a good start for him. Kind of vibes in his PvT as well. He had some good starts, and when he could capitalize on that, it was great. When he didn't capitalize on that, he definitely fell behind as the game went a bit deeper, right? So maybe that's just where SOS is kind of at right now in terms of his StarCraft 2 capabilities. Maybe that is his strength and weakness really being exposed, and the sort of thing which maybe given a bit of time, he can maybe get back on track against. You know, obviously when you come back, if you haven't played for a while, I'm not sure what SOS has been doing in terms of practice and so on, but if you come back, you know, it's easier to kind of get to your strengths first, and then it's really about kind of ironing out those weaknesses and just becoming a much more well-rounded player overall. You want to have a shot at kind of really winning out and seeing success and so on. Next is coming through. Cybercore will follow and get straight into those. As the Hatch, Gas, and Pool coming up and online as well. So just bring that straight on in. Similar coming up on this main base. Get that sorted out as well. And the Cybercore Nexus both coming through also. And that is us for the first few moments against PvZ. And we're probably just expecting SOS to throw down a Stargate. Even if he gets a bit crazy with the Fleet Beacon again, Stargate is the most expected opener. On a map like Ultra Love, I don't really see us kind of thinking that maybe like some kind of crazy Blaze play is the way. I mean, he could. It's not an impossibility. It's not an impossibility, so we will see. Yeah, Link Speed Queens, couple links coming out. Stargate and the Nexus coming through too. Nice bit on the way. It is indeed the Stargate, so again, no real surprises just yet. As the link speed continues into action. Again, that Stargate coming up, the Warp Gate on the way through as well. Portrait popping out in the next few moments. Yeah, that Warp Gate's still building on through. Assimilating a couple of probes. Coming up alongside everything else. And we just continue to get ourselves settled down here. Voidray at first does kind of keep you guessing what SOS is going to do, right? Because the Voidray is going to be able to deny the Overlord straight away, and by denying the Overlord so quickly, you limit the vision from Reynor, and then Reynor has to really kind of make a guesstimate as to what the hell's going on himself. That could obviously, you know, sometimes lead into some interesting scenarios where, you know, yeah, I mean, sometimes that leads into that scenarios where you do things a bit differently. He's going to throw down a Fleet Beacon again, so SOS says, cool, I like what it got me in the first game. I wonder if he goes for the exact same follow-up as well, or if he actually mixes up the follow-up away from like Voidray production to like a Twilight Council and like Blink Stalkers or so. I wonder if that's just like a little bit of a different approach we could maybe take as SOS to kind of mix it up while doing something else. Oh, he goes Fleet Beacon and then just Twilight Council. So what, he's just going to rush a Mothership? He's just going to rush one Tempest? Tempest of 1 Stargate could just be for the mothership and then into Blink Stalkers and just have Blink Stalkers with the mothership. Has been seen a couple of times. A couple of people have made early motherships. We are going to go Tempest though, so at least a Tempest or 2 probably on the way out to harass, and then obviously with the Twilight Council coming in, still expecting that follow-up, and then if that money's going to go into that, we don't have the money to throw down the tectonic destabilizer. We're not going to make as many Tempests, so it's not as important as well. And so those are all the differences that are going to start pulling away from each other between the last 2 games. So there you go, differences being made. Oh, Resonating Glaives, I was not expecting that at all. Wow. So we're going to show a Tempest, and then what, just hard commit to Glaives and hope Reynor heavily overcommits to Tempest play? Or anti-Tempest play, obviously. I mean, honestly, I could kind of believe it. I could see it. I really could. But we're going to patrol around. And Glaives on the way up, depth coming through. More probes in the Nexus coming up as well. Just have ourselves the Void Ray. Fighting back once more. That was moving across over that right side. But we're going to activate a few of the Zerglings already taking some damage. That Resonating Glaive still coming up as we do fire a few more shots off. Spire coming in, the 8 extra drones on the way in. Yeah, it's working, right? I mean, Reynor is making units which are not going to be very useful. The only thing I will say is, what if Reynor realizes what's happening and then he's like, cool, Mutalisks. Because there ain't anything that fights against Mutas right now, apart from the fact you've already got the, you've already got a Stargate that could produce Phoenix. Warlock is there, so Reynor getting the reaction down in time to stop these Adepts being super annoying. Gonna break in though. The Lings are gonna start fighting this, feeling the need because the wall has been broken down. The Lings are gonna melt. The Spire is just completely dead weight in this scenario, but we do have a Roach Throne, so we will see some Roaches starting to build up and come into play as well. Some more of those drones still just taking some shots. He's going to get that Queen, a couple of Roaches on the other side taking damage. 13 drones going down. And plus 1 missile upgrade coming through as well. Just going to be seeing those Adepts are going to shade up to the main base. There's now 17 drones killed. Problem is, Reynor is still kind of holding on with an okay-ish work count. Army count is kind of fine. Like, I feel like he's already made the units he needs to deal with this, and now it's just about killing these Adepts off. And he knows that, hence why he's just holding down the drone key behind this. Trying to offset a lot of the damage that SOS has done. 18 drones killed. They cost you all of your Adepts, and they are now gone from the equation. They are gone from this trade out. They are not coming back. Tempest's going to get a few kills as well, though, apparently, so we're not completely done here. Reynor did finish the Spire, and we'll build a couple Corruptors, apparently, to deal with this Tempest. This is why SOS is such a trickster. Reynor probably, like, I don't really know what I want to cancel, because I'm so afraid of making the wrong call against someone who seems willing to do absolutely anything in these scenarios. And I mean, I think it's true as well. Like, what wouldn't SOS do? If he's happy to build a Fleet Beacon to build 1 Tempest to fake you out into making, units that aren't going to help you against a Glaives attack, then yeah, there really is no limits on what SOS is willing to to get done. Well, I see the Voider at least catching this drone on the top. No 4th base for Reynor yet. So 3 bases each. Blink about to finish. SOS will have some benefits. Here it comes down out in the center as well. A few Roaches and the +2 missile upgrade coming through as well. You're going to see the Roaches already setting up here. Going to try and knock down the cooling tower, which would obviously create a blockade of rocks in this position. And that's going to stop these Stalkers from being able to continue to pressure forward as much. Obviously they can stop and kill the rocks, so they can take a moment and actually just work their way around. And so they're going to come around that right-hand side. Can maybe still kill the rocks as well for later on, though. Maybe reasonable. The Roaches stepping through. And these Stalkers still very much on the run for the moment. There's another Ravager going down in amongst this. I mean, the Stalkers obviously at least finding some value, so Blinkstalkers do what Blinkstalkers do best. I do not love the production tab for SOS, which is like nothing else. Like, is this just Blinkstalkers and we're winning the game here? I mean, it feels like it, right? We don't win the game with this. There is currently no follow-up. There's no backup plan. There's no future upgrades. We drop a 4th Nexus down. That's that's our entire game plan behind these Stalkers. It's like, well, I've got a 4th base. You know, brilliant. That may not do what you needed to do. Because if these Stalkers are dying, you're probably going to need something extra army-wise to deal with whatever's killing the Stalkers, right? Well, maybe he just doesn't think the Stalkers are going to die. He does start up some extra stuff, though. Charge, +2, +1. Those are some of the things I wanted to see, because, like I said, it was looking pretty miserable in that production tower when he was just warping in 7 Stalkers, and it was absolutely a barren wasteland otherwise. The Slings show up, and that's just going to be an instant pick on this 4th. We'll get the cancel, but it'll cost you a lot of the Lings, so at least SOS is able to play the cleanup there. Doesn't let anything get away. Obviously, canceling, rebuilding the bases. A minor inconvenience. At this point, I don't think we're in a super desperate rush for 4th. Like, yeah, you want it, but it's not like the delay of 20 to 30 seconds is going to be the make or break of SOS right now in this game number 2 here on Ultra Love. Block house coming up, a couple gateways coming about as well. It's going to be seeing our Stalkers moving through. Link Road Ravager coming up as well currently. Couple Hydras, Roaches, the melee upgrade coming through. Next drones on the way in as well. Still got the Spine Crawler coming up too. Just for the moment. A Storm and all the rest come online. See the upgrades, obviously some more Hydra upgrades coming in, but also the Hive and the Lurk Den. So Reynor very ready to play into those Lurkers for the latest stage of this game. I think he'll feel very confident getting to those Lurkers. They're going to be very good against the ground army of SOS. And he's so Stalker heavy right now. Lurkers are actually going to have such a fantastic time. They're going to have an absolute field day in amongst this one, I'd imagine. So, you know, it's definitely going to be feeling good for you there. There's a couple of shots go back and forth. The Bile gets traded out. A few Stalker volleys getting to go off. The Voidra in the middle is going to get pushed away by the Hydras. Amazing the Voidra is still there. I'm not sure what's really been up to all this time, but it's apparently standing strong and doing its thing. +3, +2 on the way out from SOS. High Templar's coming about. The Observer's coming up. Cannons and the Probes building as well. A nice storm. A couple of storms coming down. Ravager's taking a lot of shots. Azel's going to charge forward. It's actually a pretty good fight to SOS's side starting off here. So first little attack through. Going to be very, very successful. Going to keep it going as well. And he's going to get rid of this Hatcher on the right side. So Reynor loses a 4th base. SOS able to get a very good little, like I say, engagement in. Just run straight through. See some immediate success. A very positive way for things to go for him. So, like I say, very happy there. SOS then would be really nice if he had a Zealot run by at the top side at the same time. Imagine you knock down this other hatch at the same time. You reduce Reynor back down to 3 bases. And you just give yourself time where you're mining beautifully and building up into 3-3 and Immortals and so on. And all of this stuff that's going to help you in the long run against a Zerg that is then having to replace bases and struggling to get to the Lurk count that he's hoping to get to really help dominate the ground game in the near future. With that Roach Ravager coming through, the rest of the Stalker 4 steps away. So again, just going to fall back there. SOS still on the edge of creep. I say the creep spread is obviously really not that far forward. It's most forward in the middle. That's really about it for now as the Stalker Zealots and Temple Force gathers. A couple of Lurkers going to fly through. Couple shots coming about. The robot facility halfway done as well. +3 attack finish, and as the +3 attack finishes, the +3 armor will also be underway here fairly soon. Yeah, +3 missiles, +2 melee, all coming about. We've got the fire carapace coming through as well. The Roaches just going to step straight forward. A cannon already taking some shots. Nice counterattack from Reynor and SOS. fully focused in the middle of the map, does not have anything back at home, so this is going to be damage he has just taken and can't really stop. As Roaches continue through, a couple of probes going down. He's going to continue straight into this as the actually dropping a recall. So SOS is going to have himself a defense, but man, losing workers and just recalling off of the map and giving Reynor even more time for upgrades to come through. He's got a lot of very good upgrades coming in, especially that adrenal gland's going to make Lings a lot more deadly. Roaches on the top left, find a 5th base of SOS. It's kind of interesting on Ultra Love. I mean, there's no reason SOS had to take that base. But obviously, you do start getting drawn out a little bit on this map. Reynor currently sitting 5 bases of his own. You can see he sits that, 5 bases looks like a nice little corner, really. But then SOS taking the top left corner is not exactly what kind of builds into that concept. So, it's an interesting choice. A couple of Vipers coming about, and the Lurkers are still building. Hydra's coming through too. +3 armor. Shield upgrade also. With everything coming in. Nice storm. Whoa! That was such a nice storm, and he blinks in and perfectly traps the roaches in the storm. That was incredible. I love it. That was such a good blink, actually. Like, it just completely stuck the roaches in that storm. That was so wild. The Stalker Donut. Yeah, you've heard of the Force Field Donut. You force field a group of veins and lings into a donut of force fields, and you storm it down to kill everything. That was the Stalker Donut for sure. Jeez. Well, a couple of storms coming through. I'm still not convinced about fighting against these lurkers, especially currently he's trying to force his way through a choke point. I think that's my issue, actually. That the longer this game goes, the more I just feel like Reynor understands how to take these fights a whole lot better, and how SOS may struggle to take the engagements he really needs to make the most of the army that he's been building. The way that he's been opening up does not really suggest that he wants to play games like this. I know. Alas, here he is. Second Stargate coming through, so finally going to add that on. Already had the Fleet Beacon, obviously, from the opening, and he's going to go Mothership. So he's going to finally add that on as well. I thought that was going to be something we added on super early. But I wasn't expecting the Tempest into Glaive's fake out. So, yeah, I mean, how could I not see that one coming? I'm the freaking observer. I'm meant to see everything, you know? Yeah, I did not see that one coming, so... Anyone remember the minigun gif? Yeah, I do. That's really funny. That's exactly what I think of when I think of like a force field donut. It's exactly what I go to in my head. A couple storms coming down, some of the Hydras getting poked about and pushed away. These lurkers are working their way through a set of rocks, and we open those up and open access to this forward base, so we can jump straight into this. Because I'm just going for the robo facility. I mean, it's such an annoying position. Like I say, as the later this game gets, I feel like the less SOS is going to understand how to take these fights, where Reynor really does know where he wants to put those units, how he wants to play with them, how he wants to position them, and what he can get out of them as well. So, I'm just going to continue on to this robo facility, which will be dropping in a moment. So, robo goes down. Building carriers, yeah. Carriers are great if you've got the time, but I don't think SOS really has the time. Like, carriers just take so long to build up, so I do not think that's the right call. Versus maybe just, like, Tempests are very good against everything here, realistically. But they're really good against being sieged, and that's exactly what Reynor's army does. The carriers need to be able to kind of push in all at once. Like I say, you need a lot of carriers to make them effective as well, and we're just nowhere near that sort of stage. Especially with how long it's going to take to build them, one at a time, because the second Stargate died. I mean, we attacked across the map here as SOS, but this is going absolutely nowhere. Storm trying to help out, but the reality is his army is going to be disappearing pretty quickly. I think we're missing... No, we have the Overseer as well, so we're just taking our time about chasing down this Mothership and group of units. I mean, it's stuck in the main. The only thing we'd really do is recall out of here. I'll see a couple more units to spot popping in as reinforcements during this, so you can use those to help this trade go to your advantage as best as possible. Not one single carrier. Looks rather sad, right? There's the recall to try and get these units out, but the Mothership falls. A bunch of the Stalkers fall. Some of the Stalkers weren't even recalled. Disaster for SOS, who loses a ton of units right at the end there. I think the Army Graph, yeah. It was already going downhill for SOS, but there was like definitely that extra drop of that final sudden drop. Is the moment where he just gets killed trying to recall. He's not killing anything else in return during that time. the moment where, you know, Reynor starts to stabilize on army supply and turn it around, so yeah, it kind of explains itself there as Reynor coming out of this next game with, I think, a win on his hands and just showing us some pretty solid PvZ, even when things go a little bit haywire in the early stages of the game. He shows us how to stand up to that challenge and how to deal with it, so job well done there by him. And as we do see Crypt's going to come through, go after the carrier. We're just going to eat some Stormers, but I don't even know how much they really care. Yeah, Reynor just has so much, and we'll start to kind of knock down bases here and get some more value. Look, this is continue to come about. I'm just going to see the Crypt is still popping. There's really just not much to say for SOS at this stage. He's going to try a counterattack once again, which is fair enough, but I think the reality is seen across the board. He seems to see it too. GG's. And Reynor is going to take the 2-0 to qualify to the decider matchup of this series. So we are of this group stage. So Reynor will get through to the decider matchup against SOS. That's going to be the rematch from earlier. We can get ourselves set up and ready for that. Perfect. This was, that was a fun series. I mean, that's obviously a SOS eliminated from the GSL, but A, impressive he made it there. B, he took a map off Cura. And C, he got himself in some good positions otherwise as well. So, through and through, I think, honestly, a pretty darn good performance from SOS. I'm not going to say that I'm upset with what he was able to bring today. He was honestly better than I thought he was going to be. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, well, we get into the rematch between Solar and Reynor. So it's going to be a Solar-Reynor rematch, best of 3. And this time the decider, or the winner, will advance on through into the round of 8. So that's what we're going to head into next. We're already running the ads. When did SOS come back? He literally came back for this GSL. He came back and played GSL qualifiers, and that's like the only thing he's done. He played in like one other online cup or something. I'm pretty sure he hasn't really played in anything else. Now he's eliminated. I can actually check his Aligulac without getting spoilers. I feel like he played like one Monday Night Cup and then played GSL qualifiers and then played GSL. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays anything else now. My Aligulac is loading. Too many results? What do you mean? I'm literally clicking on SOS. Bro. There you go. Manchester, yeah, his Manchester is... He's actually got quite a few recent games. So he played... Okay, so he played on the 15th of February 2024, GSL 2024 qualifier. And then he played the Picasso Cup, beat Special, lost to Cure. And then he played the GSL qualifiers. That's all he's been back for. So he's been back for like 2 to 3 weeks. He's only played GSL qualifiers in that one online cup on the Monday. That's the entire return. Now, it'll be interesting now he's out of GSL to see if he plays in any more open cups and so on. I mean, he might want to try and stay practice. Obviously, there's EWC qualifiers coming up and so on. He might want to just reserve his builds for the EWC qualifiers too. That's definitely a thing where with those qualifiers coming up, a lot of players might start reserving the kind of their better things and slow down their participation in other tournaments just to try and be as best prepared for them as possible. So, yeah. Thought he retired. I thought he retired too. I thought we'd seen the absolute last of SOS as well. His return was an absolute surprise. Like, he really just came out of nowhere. He, like, tweeted that he wanted a team, and everyone was like, really? And then he qualified for GSL, and everyone's like, whoa! Okay, then. And obviously, now his GSL run is over, but, like I say, it's not easy to qualify in the first place, so... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we see much more of him. I imagine he's back for the season, for the EWC season, though, at least, so... I mean, it makes no sense to play one GSL and be like, nah, that's it, I'm done. Because obviously EWC's around the corner, so you can try and qualify for that. The qualifiers of that are going to be even closer and so on. So yeah. Alright, let's go into some ZVZ to wrap the day up, guys. It's going to be Tokamak to start us off. As we head into Reynor versus Solar. The rematch! So back to some ZVZ. As like I say, the rematch from earlier. We already had this series 1, so it was an opening match. Obviously, Solar went to the winners match, lost to Cure. Reynor dropped the lower match, beat SOS as we just witnessed, and that leads us to this final match of the group. See Reynor in the bottom left and Solar in the upper right. Audio, I was just wondering how you're going to distribute the Indiegogo money across the tournaments. That's a great question. It really depends on how much we raise through the Indiegogo. This is probably not going to be like a flat, like, every tournament gets, like, a percentage increase. It really just depends on what we raise. Right now, we seem pretty stuck at, like, $5,000 to $6,000. I reckon with another, 3 weeks of campaigning on stream and stuff, we can maybe get another $1,000, $2,000 raised. If that's the case, we'll probably put a pretty big chunk of it towards our end of year championship, and then just bring some of the prize pools up a little bit from like 3,000 to like 4,000 and stuff. On like, or maybe like make the summer championship and stuff a bit bigger. Like maybe make some of those events, like maybe like focus on increasing the bigger events that we're gonna run, or what I would say are the better events we're gonna run, and leaving the other events. There's still pretty good prize pools, but they're gonna benefit less from like the extra few $100s, if we have to split it up so much. So probably something like that, but it really just depends on how much we raise. Yeah, it really depends on just how much we're able to raise, to be honest, at the end of the day. So, like I say, there's no just like flat, like every tournament's gonna get $1,000 because there's 5 tournaments or something and there's $5,000, I'll do it in a way which I feel like is gonna be the most important, or the most impactful, I suppose. Try and make the tournaments as good as possible. Hopefully, that was a nice in-depth answer for you. When are the next group matches? So Group B was played today already, so I'll be casting Group B tomorrow. The replays already got sent out, but typically the next day would be pretty reasonable, I think. But trying to get the grand finals more hype. Yeah, I would say like probably the main goal. Like originally, I was hoping to raise 10,000. If we raise 10,000, my idea was to kind of probably get like the end of year finals up to like maybe 15k, and then if that's 15k or so, then we could do a lot of other stuff with like if we have another 5k, then we could like boost the summer championship up and make that a major stop, and then just bring some of the other tournaments up from like 2,000 to 3,000 to like 3,000 to 4,000, which is quite nice. But yeah, like I say, just completely depends. Like I say, we'll just do whatever I feel like is going to be most impactful. Because yeah, we had a very good start to the crowdfunding, but it's definitely lost a lot of steam. It's obviously we're not running our own events right now as much and so on, so hopefully we can get some more stuff behind it. So responsible. I'll do Group B tomorrow instead of just doing it all in one day. Me and Ellie and Helen are gonna go out for a little walk afterward. You know what it is? Like, I would have been tempted to do it all today as well if like we had the Group A replays from the very start of the day, but they didn't upload them properly. But yeah, in the end, it doesn't really make sense as well. Like, I need something to stream tomorrow, so I may as well do a different group tomorrow, and get another few hours of streaming. Who is in Group B? I believe it's Maru, Rogue, Nightmare, and Trigger, off the top of my head. Maru, Rogue, Nightmare, and Trigger. That sounds pretty correct. So yeah, that'll be a fun one. That'll be what we cast tomorrow. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone missing that I might be getting confused with in that group. I think it's that. Is going to take some shots of damage as it runs through. Reynor getting a good scout into the main base. Obviously took the 1-0 lead against Solar in the last series and wasn't able to capitalize on that 1-0 advantage. So think of it like that. Then he's on a couple maps losing streak against Solar, and that sometimes can be momentum built against you, even if there's been a couple of series played since then. There's that little mental aspect of it as well. So all little things to consider. As you see, the Roach and the other Ling is going to step through. And yeah, +1 missiles from Reynor. So this is very similar to what he did earlier, right? But he went for like the +1 missiles. And he just like full centered across the map. And Solar was like trying to go into lair and thinking about Roach speed. And in the end, Reynor was just attacking with like it wasn't a low drone count attack. It was just the fact that he didn't tech up beyond a missile upgrade, and Solo was clearly readying himself to play kind of a future game. And at first I thought actually Solo was going to be okay, but then he dropped down the Spire, and obviously that never had a chance of coming into play. So yeah. When was this played? Yesterday. Yeah, this was yesterday's GSL group, so we are 1 day late on broadcasting it. 7 roaches come through. A spine crawler coming online. Just coming online as well. Lings and a Ravager to continue to come up for the moment also. Nice. Thank you so much for the 69-month resub, Simi. I appreciate it, dude. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for resubbing and supporting as always. Thank you so much. Just gonna see that spine crawler dropping down, the roaches gathering up, and we do see a few roaches, Lings and Ravagers stepping forward. A few other Lings gonna come through as well. So we're actually gonna see Solo being the one to be aggressive, but I mean he's all in into someone with similar army supply and a better upgrade. I think Solo misread this game a little bit. I think Solo got a little bit caught up and a bit afraid, and then he just ends up kind of well, in complete and utter trouble. That's a disastrous attack. Like I say, he's essentially all in into someone who's on the same army supply as him with a better, like, this just completely flopped for Solo. A misread in the game. One of those moments where you maybe misread a little bit earlier what was going on. I mean, it's funny because obviously Reynor is only just going to start his lair now, so Reynor is pretty committed himself to units. But because he gets that +1 missile upgrade, it just gives him an offsetting advantage when it comes to roaches versus roaches. So definitely a little bit of a factor there. There's the spine coming through, the lair and a couple Lings coming about. This roach is going to get rid of a couple Lings as well. Queens, roaches, spine on the way. Have that lair through. Two Lings still gathering on the left side as well, so we just continue to get that settled. Again, roach coming up, +1 missile upgrade coming online. Queen going to drop a little inject through as well. My carapace upgrade coming up from Reynor too, so just continue to bring that into play. Again, the lair finishing on both sides very shortly. But Solo just naturally behind on army supply from this point on, and that's going to be the continued issue pretty much. Once again, the Spire coming through, the hatch coming up, the gas coming online. Got that all underway. Roach speed coming in on both sides as well. See it flying through. Just gonna have ourselves the again +2 missiles starting up from Reynor, the Spire coming up from Sola. Overseer will come about as well. Still got the roach speed coming about. Again, upgrades coming through on both sides. And the Overseer just gonna go and take a few more shots off the Queens. The Queens gonna continue to hit that Overseer for the moment. Looking good so far. As this really is just Reynor. As he hits roach speed, I imagine he's just going to send it into an attack. He might even go before then, because this is no roach speed versus no roach speed, so it's kind of fine. A couple of Ravages are nice for Solo, but the corrosive files don't connect. Reynor just brute forces his way through. Now those Ravages are dead, and Reynor clearly just has way too much stuff. It is going to be Reynor taking the 1-0 lead. So same as the last series, Reynor is going to strike early. And he is going to get the 1-0 advantage in the ZVZ. So we'll see if he can maintain that. Going into game number 2 here, which will be on Maganatha. We'll get straight to it, guys. Like I said, no reason to slow it down between games if we don't need to. It's the nice part of doing the replays. It's pretty much just go. We jump out of one, I click the button, we're into the other. Let's get into top left-hand side here with our red Zerg player, who will be down a map then. Into this second map now. It's going to be our red Zerg player, Sola. Taking on the blue Zerg. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have ourselves Reynor. Yo, what's up? Brick1337, thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys are enjoying the stream, obviously you got a Prime sub available. Be awesome like FRK and throw the Prime sub on the channel. Helps us out a lot, helps us to keep on running StarCraft 2 events and supporting. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Oh, link speed and a couple links coming about, hatching the pool coming up, and get our drones continue to build as well. Just going to be seeing those few lings going to come in and nibble up. So a little bit of aggression here this game. Early pool from Solo going to come in. And not just an early pool, but getting the gas as well with it. So going to get that early link speed on the go as well. So early gas, link speed all coming about here. Once we get that underway and started up for the moment. So we bring that straight on through. Couple of lings still nibbling away. Hatchery taking some more shots of damage. Some extra hits taking damage for the moment. Have you seen our things popping out? And a couple drones coming about. So overall here, I mean, success for Solo. It's been okay, right? You get rid of the hatchery, you force a spine crawler from your opponent, and you have map control you can kind of hold on to for a few moments now as well, right? So you can hang about with that in your favor. You see that pull coming up over on the sides. We've seen the Bane Nest coming down. Obviously, Solo starting to get into the next stage of this game. Obviously, as Reynor has to spend money and time reinvesting into that hatchery, everything else here kind of goes the way of Solo. He getting set up into the next stage of the game, so that's why it ends up looking pretty nice for him in general. That's why it ends up looking very reasonable. Capra still coming through, Bane Nest coming out for now. Just continue to get that going for the moment. Again, the drones all coming online. Spinecrawler going to fire a few shots off. Things continuing about as well. I'm going to fight, Queen going to be there. And Hatchet coming straight through, the Rotron coming about, and Drone still on the way up as well. Still got the Banes and the Carapace continuing through for the moment. A little bit of Ling Bane just going back and forth, and we have ourselves. We'll see Reynor trying to keep his Banes alive from those couple of Lings. Run around! We nearly got that. Baneling stays alive. Now it should go down to this one circle, and surely no, the Lings are going to zone it nicely again. Good job by Reynor. Good defense A little bit of micro for the moment. Gunling still moving over. Road drone coming up. Hatchery coming through. Couple of those lings will come back in again. Queen's gonna gather. Ling Bane gathering up the lings. Gonna hit down the bottom side. We will see the hatchery still taking shots. Some more Banes coming through. Some connections coming about. And looks like we need to blow up onto those Banes for the moment as the lings go back the other side. A couple of the Banes getting grabbed. Those lings do wrap around. The hatchery is going to be taken out, so Solar immediately showing his power as he gets straight across, kills off the third hatchery. It puts Reynor into a little bit of a tricksy position, right? I mean, all of a sudden now Reynor's going to be in that place where you go down that hatch that you kind of were meant to have, and yeah, a little bit of a weird one as the roaches continue through. Flare, drones, Overlord continue to come about for the moment. Need to get settled here. And that coming up, drones just coming through. Just gonna have ourselves the roach and lings building for Solar. I mean, he's got himself way less drones, but obviously without the third hatch, it's gonna be difficult for Reynor to do much with that. And I mean, clearly Solar just wants to go forwards and just end this game. He just wants to go a fight and win out, tie this series up, and take us to a game 3, a decided map in the ZVZ. Starting to come across the other side. Reynolds recognizing what's going on. He starts up additional spine crawls. He tries to prepare a defense. Can he find one of those miracle defenses that Reynor and Cyril used to find so much in the ZVZ way back when? It was really the kind of thing that kind of set them aside as players, you know, back then for me, that they were always able to survive these timings where it felt so impossible. I think this one really, truly might just be impossible. Let's see, though, as, well, the problem is, at the very least, you can probably defend on the natural, but that means you're giving up your third. And if you do that forever, that's not exactly going to be great for you, because that's going to leave you in the same position as you were in, just, you know, throwing it further down the road. So, I mean, Solar does kind of hard send it into the mineral line, into the natural, so he's going to go and just try and win out right here. Drones pull in, obviously the spine claw is mostly going down as well. Reynor has a carapace upgrade, a little bit of an advantage there, so something to keep in mind. I'd like that carapace upgrade a bit more if he had some more, like, lings or so in front to kind of tank for his roaches and so, but that just ain't a thing. And it looks as though Solar... I mean, okay. Solar's not exactly going to win the game here, but obviously he's now the third base again. He's droned up a little bit behind this. He's now getting himself that lair coming through too, so all of that coming by. Roach Ravager still stepping through as... and that roach speed coming up as well. Gather back together, reset ourselves for a few moments. And we've seen those few lings coming in down the right. So the Roach Ravager joined up together as well. I mean, does Reynor have any way back into this? Obviously, the +1 missiles is nice as well, but again, numbers are a big factor, and obviously the army supply is similar-ish right now, but there's a 20 worker difference in the game. And you don't have a third hatchery, and you know, like, that's where my issue comes from. And I guess even with the upgrade advantage right now, Solar will at the very least take away the missile upgrade advantage for probably the next fight. And maybe that's enough just to actually see Solar take a fight to win the game as well. Would not say it's impossible. It's, yeah, pretty rough for Reynor right here. And it looks as though we are probably going to get ourselves a game 3 of this, a game 3 of this best of 3. And just have the Ravagers. We'll knock down an Overlord with them, doing what he can, man. You're starting to see Solar's supply just explode as the extra workers start to kind of bring in the money, and he just turns that into roaches. The supply is going to start absolutely skyrocketing here, and again, the more roaches, the less chance that the upgrade is going to save the day, right? Kind of huge. Earth Ravager coming through. Here we are. Soul just going to run straight into it as upgrade is done. So upgrades are a little bit more even than it was before. Just going to dive through for the Ravagers. Going to see a couple of those taking shots. A couple more corrosive vials coming down as well. And GG gets called from Reynor. Solar is going to take this, and that's going to be GG. So we are going to see Solar taking it to a 1-1. And we are going to go to a third and final map between these guys. Same as earlier, third and final map. Gonna go into it one more time. This time we will have to run some ads between games, guys. So we'll just set those off and get ready to go, and then we're gonna go into one final map here. So, take this into ley lines when we get into it in a moment or two. So just give the ads a moment or so, and we'll go. Fun games. Like I said, it's actually kind of nice being able to watch these games and just cast them and stuff. I think we'll probably continue. Like I said, definitely gonna do this for the group tomorrow, and then probably the days next week as well for GSL. Like I said, it's been fun so far. It's been fun so far. Nice way to keep up to date with the GSL. For me, at least, because I said this a little bit yesterday, but for me, it's like when I watch StarCraft, because I'm not casting it, I've trained my brain to always want to do stuff when I'm watching, right? And so just watching, like, I find it very hard to be interested because I'm like, wow, where's my, what am I talking about? Why am I not talking? Why am I not doing more things, So yeah, a weird little way that things work. Alright, we will, oh yeah, 1 minute 58. Alright, we will hit another 30, 60 seconds, guys, and we'll go. Take this off. Alright, let's do it. I'm bored of waiting. There's one thing to be waiting when you're like, you've got players joining lobbies and casters joining lobbies, but like, it's another thing to be waiting when it's like, just ready to, ready to press the button, and take us in game. Alright, game number 3, deciding map, ley lines to determine which of these players advances to the GSL round of 8. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have got ourselves the red Zerg player. This is Solar. Taking on the blue Zerg in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have got ourselves Reynor. Some interesting games. Solar able to get ahead early with the aggression in that last one and maintain that as well. And go straight down to my hatchery over here for this one as well. So we got that set up and ready to rumble. Hatch coming in on both sides. We got that going. Again, game 3 final map for us today. So like I said, I'll be back casting the Group B games tomorrow, guys. Those Group B was played today. So we'll be casting Group B replays tomorrow. I'll probably go live a little bit earlier than what I did today because the replays are already in the folders rather than having to wait for them to fix the problem. So yeah, that's going to be tomorrow's stream. Exciting stuff. And yeah. And then at the weekend we have the WardiTV May event. Just coming up, tools on the way, drones in production. We got a little bit of everything coming by just for now as we get settled in, get set up. Both players going to mirror each other here as well, pretty much, like 4 gas difference, so it's not quite like the previous game where the aggression got turned on the side of Solar. A bit of a different approach this time around. A couple queens going through, that link speed coming up. Get settled down. Couple of queens, couple of drones, continuing through for the moment. A couple of lings here in the center, going to meet another couple of lings as well. So straight into action there. A little bit of back and forth starting up. Just coming through, bailing their starting on both sides, so we get that all on the way. Again, just going to be seeing the overlords coming up here as well. So bring this straight through, hatchery coming up, the drones coming out. Again, nothing to really cut these two players apart from one another just yet. A couple drones extra for Reynor, but still has a couple more in production, so it's a little bit of a give and take. It's just Solo making a couple extra lings early, right? Like, they're very minor differences right now. These are the sort of differences that cancel out over time, typically. Maybe if all the differences favor one player, but the kind of differences that don't really favor one player for any particular reason, you know, so... yeah. Phaeton's still coming through, the hatches are coming about. Queen drones, overlord, hatch coming through. Just gonna get the Rotron at the front here from Reynor as well. Pop that straight in. Rotron from Solo, gonna match him. It's going to be very exciting to see what they start to do differently between each other, right? Because this is definitely a stage of the game right now where clearly they're both heading in a very similar direction. I'm going to get there. I'm going to hit the Overlord for a little bit. A few lings at the front. Going to go after a Baneling for a while. Rotron still very much so coming online as well. There's the Evo Chamber also coming through. And that Evolution Chamber coming online, a couple of drones coming up, the Overlords are coming into play. The Baneling Nest is also producing the first couple of Banes. Roach is coming through too. And yeah, Roaches and drones all in production right now. The Ling's going to go chasing down another Zergling. A good amount of roaches just on the way out. 9 roaches building from Solo already. It's just getting straight in there. The Zerglings on the way out. The few Lings are going to go running about right now. Solo's the one to attack. So Reynor going to go for a few more drones. Solo with the Lair and the Evo Chamber. Reynor already has the Evo Chamber for the +1 missiles. We've seen this before. Like, again, he's just prioritizing that missile upgrade over everything else. When he's done this, it's really worked well for him. Like prioritizing the +1 missiles has really been something that's put Solo into difficult spots. And Solo's build figure it out here when it's at the most important time. Because again, you lose this game and you're out of the GSL season. You win this and you enter the round of 8. There's a big prize money difference and jump right there as well. It's a big game for both of these players. Does enemy creep give speed to enemy units? Yes. Creep spread is creep spread. The only difference about creep spread is the creep tumors belong to a certain player, and the creep tumors are what give vision. So the creep tumors are based on the player, but the creep spread that the creep tumors create is just creep. So yeah, creep is just creep, but creep tumors are the individual thing, and creep tumors give vision, creep gives speed, if that makes sense. So hopefully a good explanation to explain why it does that, rather than just that, yes it is. Well, the Ravager's morphing in here from Solo, so Reynor's just going to send it. He's just going to stop building drones. He's just going to be on 52 workers, sending it forward right now. Against a 66 drone Solo, who's going +1 missiles and roach speed. Built that lair. These are all investments that Reynor didn't make. He has a bunch of Banelings ready. Solo has Ravagers, but he's going to have to keep these Ravagers alive. The first Baneling's going to come crashing forward already. Reynor showing up and looking pretty reasonable right now. Roach just coming through, man. There's just so much right now. Solo's got a couple spines finishing. Is that going to be enough in time? It just feels like he's so heavily outmassed. Solo just did not realize what was going on. This build has been catching him off guard all day because it doesn't look kind of all in because Reynor builds a lot of drones, but then everything else about it is pretty committed because there's no lair, there's no roach speed, there's no further tech, you know. Drones going down. Just going to be seeing the game going to come and series going to come to a crashing close. But I think this one is just done and dusted. Hero just going to keep firing back. And that is going to be, I think pretty much everything that needs to be said about this one, right? This one just looks as though it is done and over. Reynor is going to come through as our victor here. GG's. Reynor to solo one in this best of 3. Reynor goes to the GSL round of 8 to take on some other players. I don't actually know what group he falls into, and I can't check the Wikipedia page because of spoilers from tomorrow, so that much I can't actually share with you guys. So, yeah. That much I can't actually share, unfortunately. But that was our first day of covering some GSL games. When was GSL renewed? Isn't it supposed to be way earlier than May? So basically what happened is that was the whole thing with EWC. Basically, EWC finally announced StarCraft because there was a whole lot of happenings that delayed that. They announced that like a month or so ago. And so because EWC got announced, GSL were able to gather up and join in together and kind of basically partner up with EWC also, and GSL will act as a qualifier to EWC. They said in the broadcast you would play in the Gumi group. Yeah, I just didn't know what the other groups looked like. So yeah, Classic and Gumiho. Classic, Gumiho, Reynor, and then I guess first place from Group B. Potentially Maru in there if Maru shows up tomorrow. Exciting, exciting. So yeah, everything StarCraft related is basically getting squished into the next 2 months because everything is basically a qualifier for EWC and it has to happen before EWC. And EWC got announced late because of things and issues, so yeah. So yeah. Alrighty guys, that is it for us. I appreciate you all. If you enjoyed the stream, like and subscribe on the YouTube. There'll be a YouTube upload in the very near future. In about 10 minutes, we'll be putting Hero Marine vs. Zaun on the YouTube if you want to watch some TVP. So that'll be updated. Is Bjorn qualified for Group Stage 2? Yes, it was Classic, Gumiho, Bjorn, and Classic, Gumiho, Rogue. Classic, Gumiho, Bjorn, and Hero. Yeah, Classic, Gumiho, Bjorn, and Hero were the 4 players who qualified straight into Group Stage 2 from the qualifiers. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alrighty guys, like I said, that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to run a set of ads in the outro. As always, if you enjoyed the stream, consider supporting in all the usual ways. You know, Prime subscribe, follow, like, you know, donate, cheer. Check out the Indiegogo, !2025 in the chat. The Indiegogo page, if you haven't checked that out already. That helps us out a whole bunch as well. We're still crowdfunding for our 2025 series. I'll put those links in the chat for you guys, in fact. So check out the crowdfunding page if you want to support our tournaments this year, basically. You guys know the drill, realistically. Oh, it doesn't work in YouTube. Oh. The YouTube bot sucks. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, no, it is working. It was just slow. I'm sorry, YouTube bot. I didn't mean it. Oh, God, called out. Alright, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Probably a bit earlier tomorrow because, like I said, the replay should already be in the folder, so there should be no issues with going live at my usual time. So I will see you guys tomorrow for more StarCraft 2. We'll be covering the GSL Group B. I'll see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.